What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to our channel, TSF Entertainment in the building. I'm your boy, Retro CG, joined by Jack of Jordans.
Yo, what's good?
What's good with you, brother?
Not much, man. Another episode down. A lot to talk about.
Down. Yeah, we do. We got a lot to talk about. So tonight we're here to talk about Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. It's Season 2, Episode 202, Mind Your Business.
I like the title.
Yeah, I like the title too. What'd you think about the episode?
I think the episode was really good, man. I think some of the things we predicted in the first episode unfolded in this episode. Some stuff we talked about online definitely unfolded in this episode. Some things this episode I really didn't like. We'll get into that. Not saying I didn't like the episode, but the character, I was just like, yo, that was a shady move.
Yeah,
ooh, you will have to pay for that one. But we're gonna get into that though.
So I enjoyed the episode. I did enjoy the episode, but I'm not feeling my girl Rock right now.
I'm not feeling her at all. That's what I was talking about. I'm not feeling her at
all. Girl Rock right now. I like the way she moving.
I'm not feeling her. She moving funky.
All right, so we'll go ahead and jump on in and break this episode down. Hopefully the rest of them, they'll jump in and join us. We gonna go ahead and get started. The episode starts off with Detective Howard and Rock. They're meeting in Baisley Park. Oddly enough, where he got shot at. You would think this would be the last place that he would want to come back to.
He's different, man. He's different. You know that.
Very different. That was the last place I was. But I think the reason why he chose that meeting spot was because he wanted to kind of remind Rock that, yeah, you might think I don't know what's going on, but I know what's up. So,
yeah, definitely.
They start having a conversation, and Rock she's being very coy about everything. She don't really want to tip her hand or whatever the case may be, so she don't want to admit to anything. But at the same time, you can tell she's running a little nervous, And Detective Howard basically starts talking to her about, what it was like almost dying and how his life flashed before him, and that if God gave him another chance to live, he was going to do things a little bit differently, go around.
Mm-hmm.
And so right when he gets ready to go sit down on the bench, he lets her know, yo, the kid can't shoot worth nothing. He's like, the kid can't shoot. That right there told her that, yeah, I know what's up.
Right.
And so, of course, she tries to play off of this, you don't know what you're talking about type deal, but she should know by now. She should be done put two and two together that he's faking it.
Mm-hmm.
That he is not. He does remember what's going on. And so right before they get ready to part ways, of course, he tells Rock that, I want the same thing I wanted last season right before I got shot. And I want Kanan to know I'm his father. And, she's still, trying to, talk fast and, talk her way out of the situation. But, Detective Howard ain't going out of it.
Yeah, she hit her with I had a bunch of fans, so I really don't know who his dad is.
Right. I don't know who his dad is. We know. And then he pulls out the DNA test. We knew that. We said that last season that when Kanan fell on that concrete and scraped his hand. But how did Detective Howard get that blood sample? That wasn't really clear to me. Because if you would think any of the other officers at the crime scene would have processed that blood, they would have made that connection just like he did. So do you think he would?
I think he probably did it. He probably did it privately instead of going through the NYPD. He probably had like a private DNA test done versus going through the system, because he probably didn't want Kanan in the system. If he would have did that, then Kanan would have been over for Kanan, like off rip.
And so he goes on to let her know that you got a snitch in your organization. Like, I seen the one-eyed Jack that likes to gamble down to the police station, and he was having a conversation with some of the detectives. So Detective Howard didn't really know what was going on in the interrogation room. Of course, they had brought him in because they had arrested him in the last episode for the gambling, but he doesn't know whether or not he was in there snitching on Rock's organization or not, but he planted that seed in Rock to make her feel like Scrappy was snitching.
Because first of all, I think that was just his get back for getting shot. That's what I think that was. I think like he didn't have any proof. You never seen him go in the interrogation room. You never really seen him open any files that says that he's about to get ready to be an informant or he made a statement or anything like that. I think he just used that. You see him previously walking past Scrappy where he's being interrogated. Scrappy throwing, going through mannerisms and things like that. But it doesn't look like he's snitching on anything.
Yeah.
So I think he just planted that bug just for a get back of him getting shot.
I think I agree with that. I think that's exactly what Detective Howard. What's going on, everyone? I think that's exactly what Detective Howard was doing. Was just trying to poke at Rock and get her frazzled that your organization might not be as tight as you think it is. Because I mean, we're left to assume that Scrappy probably reacted the same way he did last season when he got arrested for fighting Kanan. He didn't snitch in.
Mm-hmm.
So just because he went down to the police department didn't mean he was snitching. So I was kind of surprising to see how Rock reacted to that.
I was extremely surprised, and we're gonna talk about that when we get there.
Okay, Miss Sharon. Okay, I was wondering how he got that blood sample. Okay, that makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, that's how he got it from that fight with Scrappy.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
But I think he didn't run it through the NYPD system. I think he probably just had because if he ran it through the
Independent
system,
lab do it. Yeah.
exactly. Did he be entered into the system? And then once they run the blood off Unique's coat, game over.
I don't know what pulls my teeth. Listen,
I can't, man.
listen. I was Team Rock, and I'm still kind of Team Rock. But listen, I'm listen.
The
Rock ain't
beginner's
moving
episode,
right.
I said that was Team Unique because the way Rock moving, I don't like it.
Rock ain't moving right. Pull my teeth.
I don't
No,
like it.
I don't like it either. What's going on from Utah? Shane, probably. What's up, Shane? So then the scene switches over to Jukebox and Kanan. They're at home watching the movie or whatever. And Kanan is kind of, showing signs that he's scared by the movie. Right. Hugging the pillow and the blanket. What's going on?
Oh man.
Well, Kanan's dad is alive and well. He's alive and well, and he's making
he is live and
amnesia
kicking.
with the department. But we found out in this episode he does remember everything that happened.
But we said in the last episode that I think this is when we was watching it when it dropped at midnight, the first episode, I was like, yo, this memory loss thing is a little suspect. I was scratching my head on that.
We said that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't believe that.
Low key psycho Xavier, she is.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a sociopath. She's
sociopath. And a little
low key. It's very high key.
But it's interesting to see this version of Kanan, and later on we discover that Kanan grows up to be a sociopath himself. So the kid version of Kanan and the adult version are night and day. Jukebox seems very consistent with her character from beginning to end, but Kanan is night and day. So they're sitting there talking, and they have a little playful moment or whatever the case may be. I really like the fact that Jukebox is kind of independent, just like she was last season. She's kind of independent of what's going on from the family. She ain't really trying to get mixed up in the family business or whatever the case may be. So it's the next morning, and Kanan shows up to Famous house. I guess he went to go check on his friend or whatever the case may be. Jessica answers the door like, listen, you his friend. He got a bust down in the room with him. Maybe you could get him up and get her up out of here before Mama get home. When Mama get home, she gonna kick him out because he been wilding out.
Famous is falling apart.
He's a goofball. He is.
He's definitely a bozo.
Yeah. Well, we knew that he killed his son.
Yeah.
But technically, he didn't make that choice to kill his dad. He didn't know that he was killing his dad.
Because Rock said
Rock made that decision for him. Okay, that's right. All right, what pulls my teeth? Let's see. Season 2 is in Um, as good as season one so far. I'm hoping it gets better. Yeah, usually when we get these renewals, season renewals, it kind of starts off slow. And I think the action is going to pick up. Probably next episode is probably getting ready to pick up a
Y'all
little
think
bit.
it's starting off slow?
Listen,
I
I
mean,
don't think
everybody,
that too much sharing. Famous doing more than we. That boy he gone. So it cussed the Famous. He passed out in the bed in the middle of the day with a bust down. Jessica trying to get him up, Kanan trying to get him up, or whatever the case may be. And the mama comes home, and the mama see him in there and put him out in front of everybody. So do you think the mom overreacted, or she just got tired? Because she said that money had went missing out her purse and stuff. So he's stealing.
he
He's
probably
doing
still listen.
drugs.
If you stealing money for drugs, you're definitely doing more than weed.
Yeah, yeah,
You
you're doing
definitely
more than
doing
we,
more
right?
than weed. But no, I don't think she was wrong. I mean, she said, don't bring no women into this house. Money came up missing. Like her house is her house. You got to respect the rules. Get out.
And when you living in your mama house and you ain't got nothing going for yourself, you ain't working, you ain't paying no bills, you ain't contributing, and yeah, I don't blame the lady. She should have put his ass out.
Right.
Xavier says the mama shouldn't have kicked him out. She should have got the belt.
You should have did both.
Yeah, she should have did both. Uh, so Famous he's destitute now, literally. He don't got no money, he don't got no place to stay. And
All he
so
has mixtapes.
yeah, all he's got is mixtapes. And that ain't doing nothing for him either.
Right.
So it shoots to Marvin at his therapy session, and Renee is kind of like having a group session with everyone in the class, to ask everyone the question whether they're triggers. So obviously it's an anger management class, so everyone's there, basically dealing with anger issues, and so everyone starts talking about what their triggers are, whatever the case may be, and it gets to Marvin. And of course, Marvin really don't want to be there in the class. He's forced to be there in the class at this point. So he's not taking it serious. He's not participating in the class or whatever. And Renee notices that. She asks him the same question, what's your triggers? And Marvin's like, I ain't got no triggers. I'm in complete control. And blah, 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 blah. We know that's not the case. We know that Marvin does have anger issues just on how he interacted with Jukebox when he found out that, she was a lesbian. And then one of the guys in the class kind of make a little smart comment to Marvin. They have a little
George.
argument. Yeah, George, or whatever the hell his name was. They kind of have some words and exchange of words. And dude talking about he'll kick Marvin ass. And Marvin's like, I would really like to see you try that.
He said, I wish you would.
Sir, you barking at the wrong tree, sir. You barking at the wrong tree. What do you think is going to happen with Renee and Marvin?
I think that's gonna be his love interest.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's gonna create his balance to kind of manage some of his anger. He's still going to be Marvin. I still think he's going to end up kicking Georgie ass, whatever his name is. I think he's still gonna catch him because after George sat out, he gave him that look like, yeah, I'm gonna remember this. I'm gonna catch you, not right now, but I'm gonna tighten you up. But I think that's gonna be his balance.
So Miss Sharon says, I wonder how old Famous is. I thought he was the same age as Kanan because Kanan eventually names his son after him, so the mom shouldn't have threw him out. So that's two. Xavier and Miss Sharon say the mama shouldn't put him out. Yeah, I agree. I think he's about 15 or 16, somewhere around that age group. Somewhere around the age group. Well, they have said, I guess after, what was the little dude, D-Wiz, that got killed by Lulu?
Mm-hmm.
D-Wiz was his best friend, so I guess now that D-Wiz is gone, I guess Sean's his number 2 best friend or whatever the case may be. So maybe this path that Sean's on right now, Kanan's going to try to look after him and, try to help him out whatever way he can. So maybe they eventually, maybe we're going to see where their bond strengthens enough to the point where Kanan decides to name his son after him. So that would be interesting to see how their relationship unfolds. Pan back to the house, Jukebox is at home and she's kind of writing in her notebook, probably writing some music, or writing down her thoughts. Rock comes in and asks her, has she seen Kanan? She says no. She was like, do a better job keeping up with your cousin. And then Jukebox asked her that question, did you know my mama? And if you did, what did you know about her? Do you know why she left? Yeah, we all waiting on the younger versions of Ghost
Yeah.
Tasha, Angela. I wouldn't even mind seeing Lakeisha. And the only reason why I feel like we should see Lakeisha as well is because her and Tasha were like lifelong friends or childhood friends or whatever the case may be. So that in Tasha's probably gonna be her and Keisha probably gonna be running licks together with dudes and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see the younger versions of them. I don't think we get it in this season though. I think it's next season we'll probably see those. Rock begins to kind of describe to her in her opinion of what she thought about Jukebox mom as far as to why she left. She felt like Jukebox mom maybe was in over her head and didn't really know how to be a mother. And, mothers have a hard job giving life. And, the responsibility of motherhood is a lot. And that Kenya wasn't up for the task. Do you think Rock was being honest with her, or is Rock doing what Rock do and running interference?
I think a combination of both. I think she was being honest, but she kind of was like, what she say? She kind of was like, I was feeling like I wasn't up for the task either, or something. And then Jukebox had said that's whack or that's weak or something, and then it almost seemed like Rock started backpedaling a little bit.
She was.
But I think Rock was kind of like telling her what she felt as though she needed to hear.
Part of me wants to believe that Rock was being honest, but I can't believe a word that come out of Rock's mouth now, and that's what frustrates me because we don't know when she's telling
Rock
the
is Rock
and when she's lying. Part of me seems to feel like that Rock and I'm not even so much sure as Marvin, mostly Rock. I feel like they probably ran that lady off. I feel like for whatever reason, whatever that lady was doing, it's just like how she's reacting to this whole situation with Scrappy. Anything that was a detriment to the family or a detriment to the business, she eliminates that.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. So,
which oddly enough, that's how it go, unfortunately. But even before you get into the details of it, I mean, all you need is just a little information to go this way. It could be 90% a lie, but the 10% is enough to eliminate whatever possibilities. We could go back as far as Ghost and Roller, and so it's we killed him,
Yeah, and all enough because of Kanan.
All enough because of Kanan, right? So all you need is just that. All you need is that 10%. 90% could be the truth. All you need is that 10.
I'm feeling the same way too, Miss Sharon. Listen, Miss Sharon, I don't trust Rock, and I feel like whatever the reason is, what's up, Jug?
What's up, family?
I feel like whatever the reason is that lady's not in Jukebox life, Rock has something to do with it. She's at the center point of it.
Definitely.
Xavier says, I think it's the truth. Otherwise, Rock would have just killed Kenya. True enough, maybe so. But, she kind of deals with family a little bit different than she deals with people in the street. Mm-hmm. Because, if that's the case, she should have killed Lulu as well. Because Lulu is not conforming to her desire for him to be focused on
Lulu is her blood
or whatever. You remember she threatened him last season that you in, you always in. So I think if it was anyone else in the street, she probably would have killed her. But because it's family and it's Jukebox's mom, she elected to deal with that a little bit differently than she would have any other threat. All right, Jug, what'd you think about this episode?
Man, a definite pickup from the first episode. A lot was right that you said. First, let's just clear the air on that one.
Don't do that. Don't get it, man.
No. Seriously, in all seriousness, bro, in all seriousness, a lot that he said, especially on the IG page, definitely right. You know what I'm saying? Man, it was wild. It was definitely a wild episode. A lot got aired out. Detective Howard basically let it be known at the beginning he's not finna fall back, which goes back to what I was saying when I said I think he just pretty much gave an open invitation for him to get his head took off at some point or some time, because Rock is not gonna let him do, you know what I'm saying, go and holler at Kanan and be in Kanan's life
You can
unscathed.
forget that. It's too late for all that.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's too late. They're not gonna get a chance again to take him out.
It's
They're not gonna. Yeah, it's a wrap. That's over. They're not gonna get a chance to take him out the game again. You know, they Rock bundled that. She botched that up. So that
and
that
then with him saying with him basically letting it be known, like when we talked in the chat, that he was playing the dum-dum, bro, and we saw that. You know what I'm saying? Like we said in the first episode, he was definitely playing a dummy role, and here it is. They thinking, oh well, he don't remember anything and all this other stuff, and it turns out he remembers a whole lot, and then basically told Rock he can't shoot for shit.
Yeah,
he remembered it all.
So there it is. He remember everything, right?
Yeah, he remembered everything, right? So we get to the scene where Nicole's mom is down to the police station, and she's pressuring the captain to file charges against Laverne. She's upset with Burke.
I told you we ain't seen the last of that woman.
Yeah, we knew that we weren't going to see the last of her. We knew when the threats that she made last season that she was going to be trouble still for the family. But her anger is misplaced. She's mad at Jukebox because Jukebox and her daughter had an intimate relationship. She has no evidence, no proof, not even a suspicion what's in her mind that Jukebox gave her the drugs. And we know that Jukebox didn't have anything to do with it. That lady needs to be unalive. She needs to go away.
Unalive.
Yeah, she needs to be unalive. Yeah, she need to get on for real.
She ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere no time soon.
She ain't dropping to my friends with the mayor and whatever, but the mayor ain't here.
We're gonna see her confront Jukebox really soon.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, Jukebox might take care of her.
And the sad
that might be Jukebox first. That might be what she get.
That might be her first body.
I think Jukebox gonna take care of her.
Yeah,
Jukebox gonna take her. Yeah, Jukebox gonna get it together. All that built-in rage and
you see that she's still
this wedge between them two.
You see that she's still grieving the girl. So yeah, that might be Jukebox first.
Yeah, Jukebox gonna straighten her out.
Yeah, she's gonna get some straight.
You ain't gotta worry about that, Xavier. She ain't gonna be around that much longer.
Yeah, she up out of here.
Yeah,
and the captain pretty much defends Burke and the police department and saying, there was no evidence, which is true. I mean, he didn't make up a lie. I mean, it was the truth. There was no evidence that supports that Laverne or Jukebox gave your daughter these drugs. Right. Actually, well, theoretically, Jukebox is somewhat responsible, but not responsible because Nicole stole the drugs out of her bag. She was holding the drugs for Kanan, and it was Kanan's botched up bad batch of drugs that he cooked. So it was just
his bogus blue magic.
It was bad luck.
His bogus blue magic.
Yeah, his bogus blue bad magic, black magic. So the police captain, he waits till everybody to clear the room or whatever. And he kind of lights in the Burke and tell Burke, like, listen, you two involved in this. You should be involved in all this. You're making the department look bad. I need you to go and get out of the middle of all this before, you create a bigger mess.
Xavier, that's a good point, man. I do feel
she should have stayed out of that girl bag.
I do feel as though she should have, left her shit alone. Like, man, curiosity kills the cat. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't just go and
what happened.
Get into shit, and when you get into shit, that's usually what happens.
And that's literally what happened.
Oh, look at you, gallon boy.
Yeah, I know. Big gallon.
You got a big gallon.
So,
got electrolytes?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So, the next scene is Rock meeting with Marvin and Lulu, and she's pretty much, she didn't tell them, which I thought it was strange or odd that she didn't mention to them that she met with Detective Howard. She was just basically saying that, she heard that Scrappy had got picked up and he was down at the station and that he could be talking. But they kind of like, oh, I don't know about all that, Rock. Scrappy's been loyal to us. The man lost his eye for us. He's been riding with us forever. Like, I don't feel like he will snitch on us.
Everything that I said from the last episode, I was like, why? I was like, he lost his eye. Like, he had plenty of times.
And a kidney.
Right. He had plenty of times where he could have been vindictive. And he helped Kanan with that situation with Detective Howard of getting getting him off the streets.
Yep.
He could have said, you know what, forget all that. He could have just left him out to dry and could have said something else happened.
And warned Lulu at the showcase that Warrell and them was coming for him. That's how he caught the beat down.
And that's the part that I got a problem with, because the man showed his loyalty over and over and over again. We've seen it in like 4 different occasions.
I think with that, what he should have did was, ultimately, I think personally, he should have just kept it a buck, like, and let her be pissed at the fact that he got picked up throwing the dice. I think he should have just kept it buck.
He should have came clean about that.
She would have been pissed off because she warned him in episode 1, like, hey, I need you to chill on the dice. And his demeanor was just like, man, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he should have just kept it a buck. And just be like, hey, man, they scoop my ass up on these dice, man. You know what I'm saying? And that would have been.
I guess me trying to separate the gambling from the drugs, because he got booked for gambling. He didn't get booked for drugs. So how was there even a connection between the two? Because he got booked for gambling.
Well, that's because Howard saw him in the police station.
He picked him up in season 1 when him and Kanan was fighting. So he know that Scrappy run with them. He knows.
But Detective Howard ain't pick him up, and he ain't had no drugs on him. They ain't say that he was getting booked
for the dice game, but the assumption was from Howard, and Howard could be playing them, like, you know what I'm saying.
Howard's definitely playing them.
You know what I'm saying? Howard could be playing them and just basically having her weed her fucking people out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he told him, was like, yeah, this is just on the best interest of my son. He could have known he got picked up off of you know what I'm saying, gambling charges. But just told her, like, hey, look, he was in the station. I don't know what he said. This is this, and that's what it is. And
I think what it was is because Rock didn't show any level of remorse or concern or whatever. Then he threw that out there as his trump card to kind of rattle her cage, because he kept trying to push her to agree that, we need to tell Kanan, who his real father is, or whatever the case may be. When he sees she wasn't going, he just had to go ahead and throw something out there to, ruffle her feathers. And that's exactly what he did.
Right.
And exactly what his goal was to upset her. So next they bring in Warrell to the apartment.
I think that's
down with Warrell and have a conversation. Warrell was shook. He was like, listen, I'll tell my mama where I'm at.
The man said, I told my mama.
If it happened to me, she know y'all did it.
I told my mama I was coming here.
So
they having me.
I like, you know what? I like Rock's attitude, but I don't like how she handles shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she let Warrell know, like, I would have killed your ass on the street if I wanted to kill you. Like, I wouldn't have brought your ass to see my operation. I would have killed you when I saw you on the street.
Yeah, you wouldn't be here.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if y'all got to this part yet, but Marvin was cool too. He was kind of funny at anger management with the dude, man. Yeah, he was cracking up laughing, bro. Eating them Fritos. He said, I'll kick your ass. He said, I'll kick your ass. He said, I want to see you try.
I want to see you try that. So Rock don't waste no time. She jumped straight to the chase and let Warrell know why he here and what she want him for. Like, look, I'm opening up a new operation. I want you to be part of it. You finna work up under Lulu. And Warrell turns around, looked at Lulu and said, you cool with that? He was like, shit, we ain't dating. Okay, how do y'all feel about that?
I think that was spitting in Lulu's face, man.
It was. Like, and Scrappy.
That man just tried to kill your fucking brother. And your reward to this whole situation is, bring him in off the street.
and offer him a job.
And offer him a job? Like, are you kidding me?
I think it was more so spitting. I think it was more so spitting in Scrappy face more than anything. With Lulu, with Lulu is business. It's kind of like a part of the game. I try to kill you, you try to kill me, and around and around.
We both still here, so let's move past that. Let's work.
Right, this is work. We try to get this money together. But with Scrappy was jumped over to give to the ops, or who used to be the ops. That was like the ultimate smack. That was the ultimate
because let's be clear, they don't trust him. They don't trust him. They're not welcoming him in with open arms. They still side eyeing him. So,
I mean, but they can keep him close. And they keep and by them
keeping. But that's why I was getting ready to say it is one of the 48 laws of power. Keep the enemy close.
Keep him close, and they keeping him off the streets. Now we putting you in the position. Now Unique is out of jail, but we putting you in the position where we're getting all the work from the Colombians. We got this operation where we're not getting not for anything. We're not hot out here on these corners right now like you are. You bringing this extra heat and you ain't making no money. So you being hot on the streets and you ain't making no money. Come roll with the winners.
Man, but I just say this: there's no way in hell somebody gonna attempt to kill me, make an attempt on my life, and then you say work with this person. I'm working everybody. Yeah. Everybody got to go.
But
I mean, I get that, but the street code is different.
That is the street code. Hey, you're not gonna put me with my ops, man. He just tried to kill me. They ain't like
listen to me. When it comes down to money, that doesn't. Ghostface and Raekwon try to kill each other. When it comes down to money, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is the money
and the power.
Mm-hmm.
But even though Scrappy is loyal, we know he's loyal. She's also creating a different type of loyalty with Warrell because
trust him at all.
You're my enemy, but you brought me in, you feed me, you kept me fed, and you give me work. Warrell's going to be more loyal to her than he was the Unique. And we saw that.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that. So she's actually creating a different type of ally with Warrell. Because not only does he know how
I think he gonna shit on her the first chance he get.
Maybe later on down the line, but in this moment in time right now, he ain't got no other choice. He's starving out here already. He getting rolled up. His corners getting rolled up on. They ain't got no work. He ain't got no choice. I mean,
he ain't getting no money. He hot. Yeah, now he got to get money, and he ain't about to be hot.
He ain't got no choice. Go get on the winning team.
Yeah,
get on the winning team.
They only make business sense. You gotta take your emotions out of it. This is business.
I think that he could be a problem. I said that last week. I think he could be a problem for the family eventually on down the line, especially when it gets to the point where Unique started climbing back up to the top. And, he may want to flip sides again. That's what we're going to see with him. He's going to flip-flop. And
he flips sides, Unique should kill him.
Yeah, then they're going to kill him for real then. Yeah, they're going to get rid of him for real then. And he might be the ops for real.
That's what I feel. I feel Warrell is going in. He's forever the ops, man.
And eventually he probably will be, but in this moment, he's too hungry for that right now. He need that work.
I think this is the opportunity to, like we talked about on offline retro. I think this is the opportunity to bring that dude in who he helped in jail. I think this created a spot for him by Warrell going over there. I think my man gonna get out of jail because Unique, or he believes that Unique helped him out getting that that other gang off of him in jail, and he gonna feel as though he owe Unique, so he's gonna slide in and maybe he got to connect somewhere else or whatever, and I think he's gonna help Unique get back to the top.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we see Famous and Kanan, and they're at the studio. And they're getting all these mixtapes for Famous. Lulu comes in and says, y'all in here pilfering and stealing or whatever. And he pretty much gives them permission to take the mixtapes because they ain't selling anyway or whatever. He's already wrote them off anyway. So, y'all can have them. And Famous he's still holding on to hope that the streets need a body is going to carry him over. So you need a new hit.
Right. Yeah, ain't had a hit since I hit Tina.
You need a new hit, sir, because the streets need a body is dead and gone. they ain't listening to that no more. But it goes back to what I was saying earlier. We may have talked about this last week, and we may have talked about this offline, but back then in the music industry, it was hard to make a break. it was hard to make a break. If you was a one-hit wonder, you truly was a
Man, more one-hit wonders than anything.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we saw a lot of one-hit wonders on the hip-hop and R&B side. You know, there were people that came out, they had a hot single and they had a hot song. They wrote the charts as long as that song was popular. And then if they didn't have the next thing that was hidden, they were forgotten about. And that's what's going to happen with Famous. I think eventually he's going to get another hit song, but it's going to be a long time coming before he gets a hit song. What I'm thinking is going to end up happening is Famous is going to end up getting down. I think he's going to end up getting down and he's going to start working. Either he's going to start working for Kanan and them, or somehow, some way, he's going to start working for Unique. He's going to start selling drugs.
I think he can start working for Kanan.
Yeah.
I think Rock ain't going to want nothing to do with him. I think Rock ain't going to want nothing to do with him. But I think Kanan's going to front him.
Worker, yeah. That's exactly what's going to probably end up happening.
Kanan going to front him, and that's what's going to happen.
Yep, that's what's going to happen.
Which will be stupid because Famous is stupid.
He's a goofball.
Yep.
A walking real life crash dummy.
He could start rapping about Rock's operation or something like that because he dumb.
Yeah, that's what's gonna end up happening because he was rapping about D Wiz in The Streets Need a Body. So
exactly.
Rapping about their organization. They probably end up taking his ass out.
Yeah, because he's stupid.
That's what's gonna end up happening. Goofy ass. So Rock is down at the bodega. We see Julia. So Julia's back. We was wondering if we were going to see her again. So Julia's back. She's now the new stash house. So Rock is keeping all her money there. And come to find out, she got a rat problem. The rats are eating the money.
Like the majority of New York.
Julia was pissed about it.
Majority of New York is like a rat problem, right? You know what I'm saying? They kept it authentic.
She's like Carl Exterminator. I've been trying to figure out how to get them boxes up out of here right now.
Yeah.
Like they had to eat up a good bit of her money. And she was like, "Oh, let's call Exterminator. Put some more rat traps down. Call Exterminator."
What you think about that? What you think about the comment that she made though? When she said,
"What I was getting ready to touch on."
Yeah,
that's what I was getting ready to touch on. She was like, "Listen, if that was me that had that kind of money, I'd be sending it back home to my family, and helping them have a better life. But you just letting rats, you make all this money for rats to eat it, like
right." Yeah, them rats was tearing that money up, boy.
Yeah, they were. Part of me feels like that was foreshadowing, and then another part of it was that Julia fed her next idea because now we see that she don't go buy a new house or whatever the case may be. But I still think
that money gonna come up missing too.
It's either this is what I really think because as Rock is leaving the bodega, who do we see? Unique old lady.
Yep.
And she's seen her coming out of the back. And Rock was just kind of mean mugging her the whole time. What's going to end up happening is Unique going to rob that stash house. Either Unique going to rob that stash house or he going to do something to Julia because now he knows that that's where Rock keeping her money at. So either he going to go there and try to rob that lady and that lady ain't going to go. He going to end up killing her, kidnapping her, doing something to her. Julia is going to end up being collateral damage because when she got back to Unique and had that conversation with her about seeing her at that bodega, Unique gonna show up there at that bodega and something gonna happen with Julia. Either Julia gonna end up giving him the money or something gonna happen.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Man, Rock got a problem like Johnny Tapia. Remember, he had that problem too. The rats was eating his money.
And the thing about it is, though, she handles everything so she's not affected by anything. She handles everything like, she brushes it off. She doesn't let anything rattle her cages. She lets everything just kind of flow. And, instead of her, freaking out about it, she decides to go see a real estate agent. And, that lady tried to play her a little bit, but she's like, I'm paying cash.
Right.
She's like, well, we need a paycheck stub.
Trying to give her a house in a mediocre neighborhood.
Yeah, but Rock I agree with that, Miss Sharon. Rock need to be cleaning that money. She need to be washing that money some kind of way. And they alluded to her having a hair business last season. So, she should be washing the money through it. I don't know if it's a salon that she has or what, but she need to be trying to clean up some of that money.
Do something with it.
And if she was smart, even though she's dead set against Lulu's business, she could be washing some of the money through the studio.
Facts.
She could be washing some of that money through the studio. Probably so. So Marvin shows up at one of the labs where they cooking up the drugs or cutting up the drugs. And he has a conversation with Scrappy about where he was the night before. You know, they tried to holler at him and he wasn't nowhere found. Instead of Scrappy coming clean by, yo, I got rolled up in a gambling game at my mom. Please don't say nothing to your sister about it. But, you know, this would happen or whatever. If he would have been honest about the situation, then things would have probably turned out a little different for him. But, you know, he jumped to the chase.
The lie just made it look bad.
The lie made it look like
they already knew that you got knocked. The lie just made it seem like you snitching now.
Yeah, because he said, well, I was up at I was out in Corona at my cousin Ebony house hanging pictures for her. You know how hard it is to hang a picture with one eye? You know how hard it is to tie my shoes with one eye? So, I mean, he fed the lie to make it sound like it was believable. And so, you know, Marvin kind of looking at him sideways or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, Marvin still don't want to believe that, yo, you snitching. And then that's when we have Scrappy kind of, you know, goes off on him a little bit, let him know that, listen, I've been with y'all since I was 14. And these are all the sacrifices I don't make. I don't done everything y'all ask. I don't call bodies. I don't done this. I don't done that. I don't ran the corners. Like, and y'all overlooked me for Warrell. I mean, he got a right to be upset. I mean, he has legit.
He did.
Yes.
He most definitely did.
Yes. Because Warrell should have been an answering to Scrappy.
That's what they should have made him do. Yep. So we already talked about Rock and the real estate lady. That lady tried to play her or whatever the case may be. Jukebox still back at the house in her feelings. Looking
Xavier, no, but Scrap, they was already on to him because Howard had already told Rock that he was down at the police station. So when Marvin started questioning him, he already knew where he was at. He just wanted to confirm what he was going to say, which he should have just been like, man, hey, I got knocked for a dice game. Don't tell Rock.
I get what Xavier is saying. Xavier is saying that if that was the lie that he was going to hold on to, he should have called his cousin Ebony up and had her cover for him.
He could have.
Yeah, that's what he should have did if he was going to truly cover his bases with that lie. But don't tell a lie blindsidedly and not have your bases.
He could have, because then it would have came back on.
It would have came back on Howard. That, hey, if anybody come asking about this, tell them this. But you using your cousin as an alibi, you ain't even put her on what's up.
Yeah, he could have. He could have did that.
Dude. You're a street dude, so you already know how the game goes. If somebody come asking you point blank questions, you know they asking for a reason. He ain't just having a chit chat conversation with you.
He should have most definitely put her on game, and then it would just it would have blew back on Howard. Like, hey, so you just gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, Rock would have went back at him.
Yeah. So Jukebox still looking at this picture of her mama and, you know, trying to wonder and make sense of this whole situation. We also see that she has kept Detective Burt's card, and she calls up Burt, and pretty much off camera she calls up Burt and asks Burt to help her find her mama. And later on in the episode, we see them meet up, and Detective Burt gives her information about where mama has been and where she's at currently. Marvin, shouts out to Marvin, pull up in his red Lexus that hadn't been crashed 2 episodes. Hey, Marvin ain't crashed the car.
That joint was nice, man.
That Lexus was nice.
He had the BBSs on there. I had the wide mouth bumper. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
And you pull up in that big body.
What kind of handyman driver a car like that?
my point is, how did he even know what? I guess he asked around in the neighborhood where Ebony House was because he found her. And so he goes up to the door and offer handyman services or whatever. He ain't even, at least when he pulled up to the hotel last season, he was dressed like a utility guy. He come up and play clothes driving a Lexus, talking about the handyman. You need light bulb shades, you need some pictures of her. She's like, I ain't hung no pictures since I put my Michael Jackson Thriller poster up. He's like, oh, okay. And then he just walks off. And then she was like, well, damn, what kind of handyman driving a Lexus? Like, he knew right then and there that, Rock might be right about Scrappy. And so, right then and there, she should have called up her cousin and be like, yo, somebody came here. Well, no, he didn't mention anything about Scrappy. So she wouldn't have known to alert Scrappy what's going on.
Virgin Love, you might be right. Everything was in the yellow pages back then.
Yeah, you forgot about everybody's address. That's right.
Everybody's shit was in the yellow pages.
You sure did. That big yellow phone book. Yep. Yellow pages. I remember that. We at the studio and Lulu and Crown Camacho, they're not really going back and forth, but they're not on the same page with this new Lisa girl artist. Crown say he not feeling it. Lulu's like, yo, she gonna be the next best thing. You know, she finna be the next Mary J. Blige.
Right.
Do you think that he really feels like she has talent, or do you think he has other interests in her? Is why he's so.
I think he got other interests in her too.
I don't think they still do yellow pages anymore, Xavier. I haven't seen a phone book in many, many years. You remember when they used to come throw them in your yard?
You got a new one every year.
Yeah, you gotta do one every year. You go to your grandma's house, it's like 20 of them. Like, why don't you throw the old one out when you get a new one?
Throw the old one away, Grandma.
Grandma had like 20 phone books.
Grandma had all the yellow pages.
She sure did. She kept them from like 1975 to 95.
Your auntie number in there, it ain't changed. What?
So they having a conversation about Lisa, and like Crown's not feeling her. Lulu saying she's the ticket, she's the next hit for the label, and in walks this dude named Cartier, who's I guess he's into exports and imports, whatever. He's supposed to be the top dog or whatever, but he runs a management company. I think
he's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, he's gonna be a problem. I don't know though, because according to IMDb, this was the only episode that he was in. Unless they haven't updated the rest of the cast for the season. But when I looked him up on IMDb, they only had him credited for this episode. But we may see him later on down as the season goes. But I think he's gonna be a problem too. At least him and Crown, him and Lulu seem like they've had some dealings in the past, and they know each other. Crown not feeling them. Crown like, yo, this a bullshit deal that you coming in here and proposing or whatever. So Crown, I kind of actually agree with Crown. I actually agree with Crown. Even though Lulu pretty much told him, now listen, my money is financing all this, I make all the decisions. But at the same time, you don't know the business like how he do. Yeah, right. Crown might not be good with money, he wasn't paying his bills, but that don't mean he wasn't a good engineer. That don't mean he wasn't a good producer. You still need to kind of take into consideration what he's saying, because he knows the industry better than you do, just like you know the drug game. So you need to take what he's saying, even if it's with a grain of salt. You should, 2015, 16, somewhere around that time, I think is when they stopped making phone books. Oh, Miss Sharon said he from Queen Sugar. I never watched that.
Me either.
Cartier reminds me of a pimp. What if that girl's a working girl? You know what? He kind of alluded to that a little bit.
Yeah, he did. That's what that makes sense, because some of the comments that he made were like subliminal. So it could be.
Yeah, because a management group,
right, it could be.
She might be a working girl. All right, Virgin Love, I like that one.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But either way, I think if there's not going to be conflict with him and Lulu, it's definitely going to be conflict between Cartier and Crown.
Yeah,
they see the butt heads instantly, and you continue to see that Lulu.
What's good, Lock Queen?
What's up, Lock Queen? You continue to see that Lulu and Crown not getting along either. And they business partners, whether they want to be or not. Like, you don't came in here and took this man's studio over. You hadn't fired him. So obviously you need him still, but y'all haven't found a way to get along. Y'all haven't found a way to, agree to disagree and work together and get this money. The studio ain't making no money. Lulu, all you doing is feeding money into a dying business. So, y'all need to try to come to some type of resolution where y'all can work together and get some money coming into the studio. And still, I don't understand why Jukebox ain't in here recording a song. You know that your niece got talent. She sung on Famous's song. Why isn't Jukebox in here recording a track? I need them to explain that. Now they got Hollywood being a pimp. Where's Aunt Vi at? Where you meet her? You see Kanan and Famous. They out on the corner trying to peddle, literally, his Streets Need a Body mixtape. And police roll up on them and tell them, like, listen, you need a permit to be selling anything on the street.
Them
And,
cops were some dickheads. They could have
they
left.
were dicks. They roughed them up a little bit and embarrassed them a little bit. And when they found out what they were selling, they pretty much laughed in its face. Jukebox is her own worst enemy. No, I kind of disagree with that a lot, Queen. I don't think that she's her own worst enemy. I think that she can't get control of her emotions right now because she's so alone and lost. Her family is her own worst enemy. I think her family is the reason why Jukebox is kind of out here on this island because ain't nobody really looking after her. And they don't, and we said that last week, they only care about Kanan.
You know what? But you know what? When her and Kanan were actually watching Cooley High, when she made the statement to him, she said, "Wow, not somebody crying over Cochise dying again."
Yep.
And she let it be known to him. She was like, him crying and that part of him, the sensitivity part, like, don't let nobody take that away from you. She was alluding to, I feel that she was alluding to her being by herself. You know what I'm saying? Like she felt like she was in it alone.
She is sad and angry. She has good reason to be angry and she has good reason to be sad. I mean, look at how her family, look at everything that's happened to her. I mean, so I feel like her feelings and her actions are justified. But I think that's going to turn into, the anger is going to turn into darkness and where she's going to really start getting cold. And because right now, you see it with Kanan. Kanan is a 15-year-old, 16-year-old that's showing sensitivity. She ain't showing them that. The closest that we get for sensitivity for her is her grief over Nicole. That's it.
That's all.
That's it. That's all. From the EP that was released, we know Jukebox records at least one song, and she shares with. Okay, so her and Ziza are going to do a song together. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, I agree with that a lot, Queen, because she need to roll up on her uncle and be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah,
she did that last season in the cafe. She's like, "You financing Raiders, but I'm your niece, and you're not putting me on."
Right.
That's true. That's true because we knew female artists, and still to this day, I mean, sex sales, sex appeal sales. So by the fact that she's a masculine, I agree with that, Xavier. I absolutely
that makes a lot of sense.
That may be the reason why they're not putting her on the forefront. Yeah. Marvin is meeting with his lawyer, and he's pretty much complaining to the lawyer about these anger management classes. Like, yo, I thought you told me all I had to do was just show up, and that was it. And he was like, well, some of the therapists, get down to get down, and some of them actually do their job. So, you're going to have to just, push through it until the amount of hours that you have to go is over. He then goes on to tell him that he's found Tony Deep, and that Tony Deep is getting ready to get married. Damn, I didn't take her long to find a new man to lay up under. Why do you think that he told Marvin where she was at? What was the point? The case has already been thrown up.
Because I think Marvin want to get rid of it anyway.
Yeah, I think Marvin going to end up getting rid of her. Exactly like Queen. My uncle owned that studio. I'll be down there all the time.
Hey,
I would be working at the studio. I would be working at the studio. You damn right. I'll be down there all the time.
Inclined, I'll be in there recording some everything.
Shoot. Be in there cleaning up, straightening up. I'll be down there at the studio all the time. You're right. She know.
She know already.
She know. Because remember last season when they were sitting out on the stoop and she brought the vial back to the house and she showed Kanan that this is what killed Nicole. And Kanan kind of freaked out about it. And I think he admitted to her that it was his bad blood.
He told her, yeah.
And she was like, I can't even blame you for it because you're a kid. You shouldn't have even been mixed up in this to begin with. She know.
Yeah, she know about it already.
She is a very pretty girl. The actress, her name is Haley. In real life, she is a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
And, that's what they should have done was, kind of dress her up. But I think that's more Juke than anything. I think she's comfortable in her own skin, And because even when she was at the department store last season, she was trying to try dresses on for the prom or whatever. She ended up going with the tuxedo. And, she wanted to be comfortable in her own skin. So I don't even think she even wants to even try to have any type of sex appeal as it relates to the music. So yeah, I think Marvin gonna end up finding Tony Deep and knock her head off for snitching. Detective Burke, which we knew this, that Detective Burke and Juke, they were going to continue to have a relationship. And when I say a relationship, I don't mean like anything sexual or anything like that, but they were going to continue to have interactions with each other. And Jukebox kind of looks at her for advice or support. And so she gives her all the information about her mama and tell her where her mama is currently living. And Detective Howard is down at the station. He's meeting with the investigators that are working his case. And I guess he's trying to play it close to find out how close they are to having another suspect in the case and how much do they know. So, he's still carrying this facade on that I have amnesia and I don't know what happened. And
I think he gonna kill the crackhead.
Nah, the crackhead, the detectives have already kind of wrote him off that he was high as a kite, that his information may or not be credible. And they ain't nowhere near close to finding another lead. I think that was just Detective Howard fishing to find out what do they know about the case. So far, he continues this, I have amnesia. Rock is at the house and she's pondering her thoughts. Kanan walks in, she tries to present this mother of the year. I've been worried about you all day. Where you been? She just scared that Detective Howard don't roll up on him and told him before she got a chance to tell him.
Yeah.
And so here she go, jump to the chase again, come up with a fast lie instead of just being honest with the boy. She try to put a spin on it. Listen, if he approach you and say anything to you, don't believe nothing he say. He just crazed and out of his mind. He's hallucinating and this and that. But Detective Howard is going to tell Kanan who he is.
Yeah.
And going over to that man's house.
I think that's going to
having a relationship.
That's going to punch it. I think that's going to punch his ticket for him getting up out there too, though.
That is true. They sure were big as hell. Hell, some of the clothes that we wore were big as hell. Them Jabot jeans.
Man.
Oversized jeans. Back then I wore a size 34 and they wore like a 38. Them jeans were big as hell.
I'm gonna have to send you this picture. This picture that was found of me from like 2013 or so. Yeah. Bro, I had like a 5X t-shirt on. Like, where the hell did that t-shirt come from?
All them clothes were like oversized. Like an extra large was like a 2X back then, right?
Right.
It was big. I understand Rock is trying to, I struggle with Rock because one minute she's trying to treat Kanan like he's a kid and she wants to protect him from his own self and everything. But then you got him knee deep in the business or whatever. It's just like what we saw with Tariq. At some point, you're going to have to come to the resolution that you're going to have to be honest with your child about the movements and stuff that you're making, because all you're doing is turning him against you with all these lies and manipulation and all these things. But, she thinks she's doing it for his best interest. But what's going to end up happening is Kanan's going to continue to resent her because she's not being honest with him about the things that she should be honest with him about.
Man, let's talk about how Kanan was walking down the street in them green Hirachis, bro.
Hirachis, Hirachis.
I was like, oh, okay.
I missed the Hirachis.
That's what we doing? I was like, man, I saw them. I was like, oh, he got the green Hirachis on.
Yeah. I don't even know what Unique's baby mama girlfriend name is, but they're at her mama's house. And her and the mama are having an argument about Unique, about how he's a low life and get him up out of here. He trouble. And Unique
she was wild.
Yeah, she was wild. She was like, was I a low life when I was paying your rent and sending you and your church friends on trips and stuff, and I was buying you cars and stuff? I'm a low life now, though. So it's good to see that Unique's baby mama stand by him. And she was like, listen, I'm not going to keep him out of his child life or whatever the case may be. Y'all too young to know about that. Who too young to know about that? That's what we wore. We wear that.
I'll
Cross color.
tell you another thing.
Cross
I
color.
definitely had a Jabos. I appreciate the compliment though, me being too young.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Hey, as far as Jabos though, not only did I have the jeans, I had the denim jumpsuit too.
I had the jackets. Listen, you had a Nietzsche,
the jean jacket.
I had the jacket.
You had cross color, that FUBU, Sean John.
I had all that.
Rockaware. What else?
That was a good era for clothes.
It sure was. We had some good clothes. Yep. All the good stuff. The Tommy
Wallabies, Havana Joes.
Yep. Eastlands. You remember Eastlands?
Eastlands. Ooh, boy. Cross colors.
I would just die right now if I had to wear some cross colors. I don't know, but I remember it. I didn't wear much of it, but I remember it.
Hey, what's the one they just brought back that they have in they be having in Foot Locker from time to time? It started with an E. I forgot the name of it.
A Nietzsche.
No, not the Nietzsche. It's another one. It's older than it was around the same time.
Echo.
Nope. It was around the same.
Yeah, I remember Echo with the little elephant. Yeah.
The rhino.
Yeah, the rhino. Then
it was a rhino. Yep. Damn. If I remember right, Empower didn't make it to the point to mention that Kanan mom wanted him to be the top dog of the drug game, but that's where Ghost came in, right? Well,
there you go.
Well, actually,
mentioned it. Elise. Yep, that's it.
Elise. Okay, yeah. Oh,
yep, that's it.
Oh, wow. But look here.
You're not really big.
Like a Rock Queen, because Rock Queen onto something right here. Listen, I think that's part of the writing, and where I think at that point in Power, because that was like maybe season 2 when Kanan got out. That was very, very early on in Power when Kanan first got out of jail. Because I think that might have even been the same episode where he said he was going to visit his mom. But the way I take it is, he was working for Breeze. He was working for Breeze at the time, and Ghost took out Breeze. And then when Ghost took out Breeze, that's when Kanan became top dog. And then that's when Ghost and Tasha sought up Kanan to go to jail, and then Ghost and Tommy took over after that point.
Because he was in the way and
I think prior to that, Breeze was the top dog that was important. What we need to see is, how does Kanan leave his family business that was already running drugs and on top, clearly on top, to go working for Breeze? That's what we need to understand.
Did all of them get popped off or what? Yeah.
Well, we're trying to figure out where how all of them end up. Wow. But I felt Unique's baby mama, she was standing up for her old man, and that's when she sit down and have a conversation with Unique about what she witnessed at the bodega. Like I said, that's gonna bring problems to that lady doorstep.
Yep.
Because Unique gonna go seek her out.
Yeah,
and find out what her connection is with Rock.
He gonna pull up in there. Once
he find out who she is, he gonna probably end up robbing that stash house, kidnapping that lady. He gonna do something to that lady to get Rock's attention, if not kill her.
Yeah.
So they at their diner, they in their booth, and they meeting or whatever. And Marvin is telling Lulu and Rock, listen, I still don't feel like he's lying, but I can't confirm that he lied or telling the truth or whatever. Lulu's like, listen, it's Scrappy. He family. I don't want to do it. I'm not pulling the trigger.
He said, I ain't swinging this time. I ain't going to the
back. I'm not swinging this time. Because remember, she always calls him up and be like, batter up. So I knew what he meant when he said that I'm not swinging. Miss Sharon, I thought Kanan said he didn't know his father in Power, so I'm wondering if Detective Howard is going to tell him. Detective Howard is definitely going to tell him who he is.
He's probably not
going to believe him because Rock already planted that seed that the man is crazy, hallucinating, and all that. But even still, Miss Sharon, going back to that comment, he knew that DEFCON was his father, or he thought that DEFCON was his father. But I do remember him saying that in Power. But But like I said, I think that was so early on in Power before they even realized they were doing any spinoffs. I think that was just where they missed it in the writing that they need to clean that up some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
I think either both uncles gonna end up dead or in jail.
She wasn't starting like she was.
She's 25 to life.
Yeah, I think both of the uncles gonna end up dead. Yeah. I'm trying to tell y'all, they killed that Colombian sister. Nick gonna have trouble. Now you right about that, Virgin Love. So he may not kill her for that because he already know that she's getting her drugs from the Colombians. So you're right. I think he's still gonna do something to that lady. He probably gonna kidnap her or something or rob that stash house. I can't see him robbing that stash house without subduing that lady some kind of way. So either way, he gonna pull up on that lady and threaten her or try to intimidate her. He's gonna go to Julia to get a message to Rock. So that's the closest he can get to her.
Yeah, Neek been wilding in this episode, man. He threatened Dean and
What
damn bingo game.
25 of life for Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, he been wild. Neek been wild in this. He was wild in this episode.
Oh, you know what? That could have been what, because remember at that point in time, Tariq was on the I can't stand ghosts, I hate ghost tip. So, Kanan was kind of co-sided with anything that had anything negative to do with ghosts to get Tariq on his side. So that may be how they cleaned that up then, that, Kanan was just telling him loose rap to get him to be open with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they do kill off Marvin and Lulu, it needs to be the very last season of the show. It needs to be, because I can't see the show going forward with just Rock unless she gets some new muscles. And, yeah. We got too much storyline centered around Lulu and Marvin right now for them to go this early in the season. But towards the end, I definitely think we're all going to be right about that. Xavier says he thinks that Rock is still alive and present, but where? And if she was alive, she would have shown up when Kanan got killed. She would have shown up. The way she loved Kanan and as close as she is to him, there's no way that Kanan would have died in Power and she not showed up for that.
Unless Kanan killed her already.
You think Kanan kills his own mama?
Killed his own son.
Yeah, but he didn't kill his own son just to kill him. He felt justified in the reason to kill his son because he felt like that wasn't my son anymore. That was Ghost son.
Well, he could have found the reason to kill, justified in killing his mother. His mama put Lou on D Wiz.
But I would go with that theory if he did not have said in Power that he went to go visit his mama when he got out of jail.
He could have said a gravesite though. He could have been talking about a gravesite though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like with what pulls my teeth. I think Rock goes to jail. Yeah, if she continue on the path that she on right now, Xavier, she may find herself unalive for real. You know what? That's a possibility too, Virgin Love. I don't think Lulu's going to die. He's trying to be legit. Now, Rock may kill Lulu because he's trying to leave. I can see that happening, or I can see Lulu just moving away and going completely legit and just turning his back on the family completely. I can see him just getting out the game and going to live a legit life out in California.
Right. Facts.
Yeah, the way she be lying, that's what we were saying. Like, she continues to lie to him, and yet and still she expects his loyalty. But Kanan, we haven't seen that part of Kanan where loyalty matters to him. But we know in the future that loyalty is a real big thing for him. And when he sees people are distrustworthy, he eliminates them. So I see why all y'all feel like he could kill his mama, but I can't. He couldn't even kill his daddy. She gave him instructions on how to kill him.
Right.
He's crying on Cooley. He's crying on Cooley. I cannot see him pulling the trigger on his mama. That's a tall task.
That is, but betrayal hurts.
That's true, but keep in mind, what's his name was the baby mama was looking after Sean before Ghost took him in. The baby mama was looking after. I don't think that she's in New York anymore. I don't think that, or either she's in upstate New York somewhere, or maybe she's down in Virginia with the sister. I feel like that may have been something that was alluded to in the last episode about them all wanting to go down to Virginia. So just like we found Jukebox in DC, maybe Kanan's mom's not even in New York anymore. Maybe she's out of state. But the reason why I feel like she would have showed up, unique corner boy, is Benedict Arnold. The reason why I feel like that is because they've made it a point to show on Power the news report when Kanan got killed that night and how he took out all the police officers and how he had no surviving family members and how showed up down there at the morgue to claim his ashes as Eric Stark. I just feel like if Rock was alive, we would have saw her. Even if we wouldn't have known that she was Rock, we would have saw his mama. Or all they could have did was pan to the lady watching it on the TV and reacting to it and not knowing that was his mama. I mean, part of me feels like she's not alive either. And then another part of me feels like she just went ahead and got out the game and assumed a new life. I agree, because no one in Power ever gets a happy ending. So we know that
I gotta agree with Xavier.
Yeah. That she's dead? Or that
I gotta agree with Xavier in a nursing home somewhere.
Oh,
she mourning the loss of her family and drug empire.
That's where she's at. That's exactly where she's at. She's in upstate New York in a nursing home. Mm-hmm. Yep. So Lulu says, I'm not doing Batter Up this time.
Nope.
I ain't for it. Unique pull up on Umadine, Alumadine, or whatever his name is. Azumadine is what his name is. And he stayed at the bingo parlor. They play bingo every day.
He the bingo spot up, man.
They be at that bingo parlor all the time. Like, damn, that's his lair, I guess. So the new
that's not just his lair, that's his alibi. I was at bingo with my grandma.
Yes, we'll assume that Kanan stopped rocking with his mama, but what if she kicks him out of the organization for being too soft? I can see that more than anything. I can see her putting him out. Really be saying? I don't think he kills his mom. Yeah, I agree. She loses her mind. Well, depending on the events of how this story of Power ends, it could have a big effect on Rock. Because if she ends up losing Marvin and Lulu, which she clearly cares about her brothers, she just showed them tough love, whatever, but she's really been looking after them, you know. So if something happens to them where they get killed in the business, that may be the catalyst to pull her out of the game. That may be the catalyst for her to get out of the game, and maybe she spends the rest of her life mourning her being responsible for their deaths, and maybe she just deteriorates.
Yeah,
says she thinks she's alive. Okay, so
I do think that maybe it could be Marvin that gets killed, and Lou actually goes, and
I can see Lulu disowning them.
Legit.
Yeah, disowning them, like, I don't want to be part of this anymore. Because he tried to do it last season, and she was like, you in, you always in. So I can see Lulu just having enough, especially after Marvin dies. I can see Lulu throwing his hands up and like, I'm up out of here. And maybe he goes out to California to be a record executive with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he definitely is.
He's going out in a blaze. Yeah, he's going to have one of those Julio death scenes. He's going to have one of those Julio death scenes where he's going to take out 4 or 5 dudes at one time.
Before he go himself.
Everybody keeps saying that they think that Kanan can take out his own mama. He's too soft. His version of Kanan is too soft. He can't get work done. Everything that we've seen him do at this point, he's been nervous.
You know what though? I did see, like, during one of the trailers, when they first was bringing season 2 up, Kanan was at a prison visiting some guy, and the guy told him, like, man, you got to be out there on the streets. This is what you were made. This is what you were built to do. I think that was DEFCON, bro, and I think that's what triggered that.
And you know what? And that is where we may see that transition with Kanan, because we think that Kanan is going to continue to be
I think Kanan going to be a monster.
That's what's going to end up happening.
He's definitely going to be a monster.
Something's going to light that wick. That wick is going to burn fast, and it's going to be explosive. So
I actually think Juke gonna end up probably murking off Burke, because Burke, when she gave her that information for her mother, she was like, "You owe me one."
No. We already said Juke gonna take out Nicole mama, but
yeah, Nicole mama definitely out of here. That's one of the bodies.
Burke is going to end up being Jukebox's life coach, if you want to put it in that respect. She's going to end up being her confidant until whatever happens to her. If she gets fired, she gets killed in a line of duty or something like that.
He did say that.
But Detective Burke is the reason why Jukebox becomes a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Jukebox ain't going to do nothing to that girl. That's her friend. That's her friend without her saying that's her friend. That is true. Kanan has said this over and over again in Power. Remember, Kanan saying you're not a real killer unless you kill someone you love. And the way he killed that that grandmother in Power with the Jesus love pillow and took over her apartment, that was cold-blooded. So maybe towards the end of this series of Power, it could happen. I can't see it. Unique in here trying to stand up to Azumadin's new muscle. He told me, "You short. I can put you in my pocket." I like Unique. Unique ain't scared of nobody. Unique went in there act a damn fool in that bag. Unique went in there act like you, Juggernaut, in that big old parlor. He went in there.
You went there told that.
Yeah, he told him both places down. Listen, that man told him, like, you hot right now. I ain't doing no business with you. You ain't get no work.
I think that was funny.
It was so funny. He was like, you in here begging.
I think
he was
begging. Wow, he was like, man, you need to get some bigger. You need to get bigger security or whatever.
You said, hold on. You said he went in there like me. You said he went in there like place.
Hello.
What's going on?
Welcome in.
How are you guys?
We good. We good.
Peachy. How's your week?
Good, long, impactful. You guys have talked about all the good stuff.
Yeah.
You said, you retro, you said he went in there like me.
Yeah.
Who that? What y'all talking about?
Hey, I wouldn't have tore up stuff like that in front of the
old folks. Yeah, he would.
I would have.
There's people in there.
Yeah,
it's people in that age. It's people in that age, 30s. Yeah, I'm gonna tell some shit up.
I'll do that.
you cutting off my money. I'm tearing up whatever in that building.
Yeah, he was mad. He was real mad. He was upset.
Cutting off my money? You crazy?
He didn't cut off his money. He just wasn't gonna.
But that Ralph Lauren jumpsuit he had on was dope. That was a clean jumpsuit he had on.
I still think all the bingo people are like props. They're like extras. They really act like they didn't see anything. When he was getting escalated, his voice was getting loud. I was like, why isn't anyone clutching their pearls?
It was a lady when he first walked out.
They were trying to hit that bingo.
When he flipped the table over,
they were trying to get bingo.
When he flipped the table over, that one lady she kind of like flinched a little bit when he walked by.
Yeah, when he flipped the table.
That was a potluck table. When he dumped that potluck table, they was like, the ambrosia salad. No.
That ambrosia salad.
He didn't flip.
Zumadine grandma, she can't hear anyway because he always turned her hearing aid off or whatever, so she couldn't hear what was going on anyway. She was trying to get bingo. So, we knew that was going to happen anyway. When I saw that he was going to be in this scene, when I was looking at the promo pics for this week's episode, and I saw that he was going to be in this scene, I knew that's what it was because it's the exact same thing he did to Rock last season. When Rock was hot, when her corners got rolled up on, he turned her work off. So I knew that he was going to do the same thing to Unique. That listen, you just got out of jail the day after you got out of jail. You come here and talk about getting drugs with me? Man, get out of here. I don't know you.
He kind of made it seem like the Colombians have made it hard for him too, Dean. That's what he kind of made it seem like.
He did, because he mentioned that. He's like, look, Iraq is getting all the work from the Colombians. Ain't much nothing out here for you but a few farmers.
Right.
And see, by the mere fact that she's taking over that whole building and not opening the second one, all the work is coming to her. So you don't even have people out on the streets that's looking for it right now. They know where to go get it.
Okay, right. So if we know this, then we know the likelihood of Dean and Unique eventually pairing up to bring Rock down, because she is a woman. So you got a lot of men out there that feel like, oh, you moving in this boss way. No, we're gonna bring you down. Like, you think you so much, we're gonna bring you down. Like, if she's weaning them out one by one, that makes them more of a threat, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's a good point. So we switched to Jessica. She taking one last ride for the road. And after she get finished riding,
it wasn't even a finish, bruh.
Yeah, she wasn't even finished. Yeah.
She low-key just stopped on her. Like, she shut the whole ride down.
Yeah, she didn't want to ride anymore. She pretty much told him, like, listen, this is me saying goodbye. I'm finna go to California tomorrow. Crown got me a job out there in California, and of course Lulu go off about it and tell her, get the fuck on, get out of here, and don't come back. Please don't come back, and take Famous with you. Please take Famous with you.
I said in my review, Famous is the new Mookie, and she's going to be the next Felicia. Because, I mean, you just think about the times that it is and just what type of industry she going into. It won't be long before she be out there,
tricking. She going to get ran through. What my hopes is, we don't see no more of this character anymore. There's no reason to show her anymore. She wasn't important to the story. Write her off. We don't need to see Jessica no more. Goodbye.
Nope. Bye. Right. I'll let you.
I agree.
Come back.
I agree.
Don't come back.
She gonna play a part in Crown Camacho getting killed, though.
She already said that. She already liked the week for that too. It's just slow burning. It's slow burning. It's slow burning. But yeah, because she even tried to clean it up. She was like, "Listen, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at him. I asked him for help." But when she mentioned that he got her that job, he was like, "Oh, really? Oh, yeah." So she already. Yeah, she already marked his death.
I don't know though. Crown got a lot of bark this season.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, he not backing down. No. And I think somehow, some way, he gonna find a way to take his studio back from.
Them the ones I like is the ones that don't back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna need more than just himself to take that studio back, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because Lulu done rolled up on him with paperwork and all, too, for that. Yeah, I forgot he forced him to sign the paperwork. So
he put the gun to his head, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, too, when
he signed the paperwork, he told him then, he said, you can sign with your blood, or you can sign with a pen. He told him then.
Yeah. But I don't think that's over. I don't think we've seen the last.
Either way, your ass signing this contract.
But Cartier got a chance to see the divide between the two of them. So I would not be surprised if either Cartier, we just don't know what kind of character he's gonna be yet. If he's gonna
really be Famous gonna be a crackhead.
Yep, he already is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Famous is gonna be a crackhead. He's already doing more than marijuana now. I'm like, you ain't stealing from your mama purse for no 20 piece. No, boo. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Don't take that lady rent money.
You getting that. You getting that dust.
The song is called I Got 5 on it for a reason, because it don't take before y'all with 5, and that's a 20 piece. Hello.
How do you know that, Miss Honey?
I went to school. I went to HBCU just like the rest of y'all. I mean, it was Freaknik. We would go 50, but it would be a whole bunch of us.
They talking about 80. I don't think they talking 50 balls in me.
I know. Jukebox found a way to get down to her mama house. Jukebox get all over New York. She don't play. When she got to go somewhere and do recon,
She's definitely resourceful.
She's
well, she better than all of them, really, when it comes to that recon, keeping her mouth closed and just keeping a straight face. She better than all of them, Rock included.
Now
and,
you see,
and the thing is, she keep her cool, like you said, because she didn't even react to the fact that she saw her mama. You would have thought that she would have ran up to her and you know, and she just sat there and watched the situation. Watch her get in the back of that dollar cab and peel out. Now, what I do believe next week she gonna go back and knock on that door. Knock on that door. But you know, she would just kind of feel the situation out first before she present herself to her mama. Yeah. But we know that next week or later on in this season, she gonna go approach that lady door.
But I was talking about how conservative her mom looks, and she still looks conservative, but yet and still she been married twice, no kids.
Yeah, married twice. Yep. She did, but remember her character description for the season says she's supposed to be a church lady. She's supposed to be real big. So maybe she's supposed to be saved now or something, you know, reformed or, you know,
maybe.
Found God.
Maybe.
So but I said the same thing too when she was coming out there, that brownstone. I said she looks very conservative for the way they have described her.
I mean, that skirt was like a
yeah.
It's crazy that she's right there though. Like she's right up the boulevard. I mean,
down the street,
in the same city. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, she did play in Church Girls. What was that movie she was in with Tank, where Tank was beating on her with that church girl? Yeah. They had a look at Homely in that movie too. But that's how church girls do.
That's how we do.
Reborn hoochie. Unique goes to his tailor shop. Who don't tore up his tailor shop?
The cops.
The police. You see, he pulled that yellow tape down.
Oh, that's right, because he was a suspect. That's right, he was a suspect. They wrecked shop.
I mean, it didn't even look like it was locked up though. That's what I didn't understand. I was like, did they even lock up behind themselves? Like, what the heck?
Out of business. Welcome in, Really B.
Thank you. Welcome everybody.
Really?
What up?
I've missed you terribly.
Oh, I'm back.
I don't see how you navigate all the machismo, but I was able to do it, but still, I was like, really, B make this look easy.
They make it hard. They make it hard. I ain't lying.
Oh,
you make it look easy though.
Stop it. I did not give you a hard time.
You didn't give me a hard time, but still, it's a lot of male energy.
It is, isn't it though?
You need that female balance.
Well, we appreciate you looking after us while Really was gone. That's usually her job to look after us, and she has a hard job doing that.
Right.
Virgin Love said she was going to church in a gypsy cab. Maybe that's where she was going.
I didn't understand none of them cabs having taxi on the side. I was like, I thought they supposed to put. They could be getting into any car. Like I didn't understand that.
Gypsy cab. Y'all so funny.
But I mean, going back, but what y'all was saying about her mom looking conservative and this, that, and the other. The only thing we know about her mother is what Rock has said and what Marvin has said, and I don't believe either one of them.
I don't believe Rock.
She's this wild child that they're trying to make her out to be. I really don't. I think maybe she might have left because she didn't want to be a part of that lifestyle, part of that family, and they probably gave her an ultimatum, like, okay, well, you down or you out, and we'll, you leave her here. Like I could almost see a scene where they had a gun on her and was like, you leave Jukebox here. You can, but she can't. Yeah, like, I don't believe nothing that come out their mouth about what.
I don't. I really don't believe Rock. I really
coming close to finding out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And she find out, and I think that's what's going to take. I think that's going to push Jukebox further away from the family.
Yeah.
She find out what they really did to her mama,
and especially if you find out Rock is the one that lied to her.
Yeah. I definitely think that's one of the reasons why she was so reserved when she saw her, was because she not really sure what the story is. Like she don't really know what's going on. So she's going to play it real close to the vest and just peep it out for a minute and see what's up, because she knows her people lie. She know they manipulative, and she know they treacherous.
Miss Sharon, who do you think used to be in the drug game? Jukebox
I think she's talking about Juke's mom.
I don't think so. I believe maybe she was a little bit promiscuous. I do believe that part of it, that maybe she was a little bit promiscuous or whatever the case may be. But when I think it came to the criminal side of things, I think that's what ran her away from the family, or they put her out of the family because of it. It's one of the two.
It could be a combination of a lot of things. It could be the fact that Marvin started using and she just couldn't deal with that and they pushed her out.
Right.
It could be because you got to remember Rock said that Marvin was using drugs. So that could be the part of it. She might have wanted out and it was like, well, if you
and he was the leader first, remember? He was the leader first.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I can't wait to see how that unfolds. Because obviously they don't know that she's still in New York. Because Marvin said last season that she was out in California with the NBA players, so they don't even know she's
right,
back.
I don't believe that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been told a lie too. You know what I'm saying? Like Marvin is
true.
For
They
him
all
to
may
go
be a
as
victim
hard
to
as
Rock.
he did about the scrap situation, he really positioned himself to be more of the do boy. Like, I just don't understand why he didn't fight a little bit more than what he did. So he could have been in a position where Rock could have told him this is what's best, this what happened. So yeah, she ran off, yada yada. So he could be believing the same lie.
Agreed.
All I kept thinking about in anger management class was, I was like, man, when they see him go off, they gonna be like, class is not enough. We need a tranquilizer gun.
I agree with that too, Lock Queen.
Yep, that could be another thing. Man,
Rock is the center point of it, because like I go,
got a lot to say. Yeah, that make a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense.
You got a lot of valid
it goes
points.
back to my feeling that I had. We were talking earlier in the episode about when Jukebox asked her about her mom. Was Rock telling the truth, or was Rock giving her a fast lie? And I feel like it was a fast lie. So I feel like whatever is the reason why that lady ain't around no more, Rock is at the center point of it.
That is a really good point, Lock Queen. This is why I love the comments and when you guys go live, because it just brings in a completely different perspective sometimes. Yeah, that right there will be enough for Rock to run her off and poison Juke and Marvin.
And that's probably why Marvin resents her so much, because he thinks that's why she left him, but not knowing that his sister is the reason why she gone. That's a damn good point.
We gonna find out. We gonna find out.
We gonna find out
next week. I don't think it's gonna take us long to find out. I think
no.
when Jukebox knock on that lady door, we gonna get the story right then and there.
Yep.
Unless,
oh Jesus, Xavier.
No, I'm not even going to read that one out loud, Xavier. Xavier.
Wait, leave it. Let me read it.
Oh wow.
Get it, Xavier.
Oh wow, man.
Xavier, you've been good. Nah, you can start back acting bad again.
I mean, submissive. I guess it's submissive. It's still submissive.
Oh my God.
Submissive is what submissive does.
He did say that. I think, but somebody said it in the comments earlier that they were young when they got together. So, that girl was probably a teenager messing with a drug dealer. So, she probably was out there in the streets and running around with other men and stuff like that. But that still doesn't explain why she ended up leaving Jukebox behind when she got pregnant. I think Rock took that baby from them. Because remember, Rock had Jukebox at first.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Rock is the reason why she probably paid that girl some money to go away and never come back.
So you think the mama was Lebanese too, and maybe Juke?
They didn't.
She had Juke first before she had Kanan.
They didn't specify what gender she was running around with in the NBA with, so maybe.
Yeah, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's what happened. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't believe the whole she was passed around and she left for an NBA player. I just don't believe that story.
Yeah, we're going with the narrative. That that's what Rock told everyone that she was.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that's the story that was told, but I don't believe that's the truth. You know what I'm saying?
And part of it, because remember, Marvin was in the drugs real bad and was locked up for a good period of time too. So he may believe whatever Rock told him because that's his sister. and not having closure himself with that lady and understanding the real reason why she left him in Jukebox. So back at Unique Shop is torn down, and I guess it's out of business now.
And he walked in his left with them black cement threes on, boy.
Yep.
So, that was a nice shop. That was a nice haberdashery. That hurt my heart a little bit.
The shop back there too, haberdashery.
That was a nice haberdashery.
All the goons are gone. The person that run the shop, everybody gone.
I'm on mute though.
Are you not on mute?
No.
I mean, and this happened in a very short period of time. 3 months, all of this has gone on. Fame strung out. Kanan changed his mind. I mean, he back running around with the lollipop guild, except they done grew up to be crackheads. Everything Rock has done with the Chelsea, I think that's the name of the apartment complex, and everything Unique lost. Like, he lost a lot. What's crazy is that he wasn't the only one talking to poor, don't have nothing but got gold chains.
Yeah.
You got gold. You got money.
And the thing about it is, I guess that, his business dried up as soon as he went. Whereas I thought that Warrell was going to keep the business going while he was locked up. Obviously, that wasn't the case.
He wasn't getting no more work.
He wasn't getting no work, though. Yeah, they wouldn't get no work.
That was the problem. He wasn't getting no more work. And then them corners got hot.
It was pretty much made.
And then the corners got hot because Unique was already in trouble for
the murder.
As soon as he got picked up, Dean pulled that work.
Yeah.
And the corners were hot because the cops was knocking on every corner because the cop just got shot. So the corners was hot. Dean already had cut him off. He probably was done in like 2 weeks after he got arrested.
Yeah.
But that makes sense because he should have a stash. I mean, if Rock got money, she not only had money in boxes there, but remember the boxes got moved there. Before that, they was in the crack house, and she had money stacked up there. I was like, what was she? Like, for them to have so much money, anybody in the drug game, like, I don't get it. I don't understand why they don't have like a what do you call it, rainy day fund?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and that was a legitimate business, but I guess I'm going back to what Jack and Jordan said that once they started shaking down his organization and knocking down his business, everything dried up. All the money got probably spent up.
That well dried real quick. Yeah, especially you get the cops involved.
And the thing about those rainy day funds, you think you didn't save up enough money. You like, I got XYZ stacked up. Them lawyer fees start kicking in. That money gone quick.
Pension plan for the drug game.
Right. Ain't no retirement plan.
And they could have rated his spot.
Unique was living in a high rise in New York, a security building. Like, he was spending the money.
Right.
And they could have rated his spot.
He was walking around with furs and gold chains on. So yeah, the money was.
They probably raided the spot and took the money.
Yeah.
That's true too. The police probably rolled up in his apartment and took whatever cash he had in his apartment.
They took whatever he had. You shot a cop. We kick it in every door that you
we
hear
that you didn't have no money to offer Zumadine for a re-up. He didn't even have no money to offer because he was basically asking for the drugs.
He was asking for a favor, right? Mm-hmm. He was asking for a front, right?
You try to get consignment? What?
And he not that soon as that tuna salad over the steak like I was like the bridge. Are you?
Warrell walks up into the shop
with that Mark Buchanan on.
Yeah, he had that Mark Buchanan on. And Warrell is pretty much coming to tell him first before he hear it in the streets that listen, I'm getting down with the get down. I'm sorry I can't rock with you this time, brother. You can tell that they have a close relationship, but you can tell that Unique was hopeful that Warrell was going to come back and join the organization. But what is there to join? You don't have no work right now. You don't got no money, and you still got the heat on you right now. Like, I can't get down with you right now. He's like, listen, I got a better opportunity, and I'm going to take that opportunity. So
that was a good thing, though, when he said, "I'm not going nowhere," and Warrell said, "I ain't going nowhere either with you."
With you. Right.
I was like, ouch.
And that left me broken in that moment. But Unique gonna get back because Rock got her stink all over this. He ain't gonna let this ride. He gonna get back at Rock.
She gonna realize she wasn't just shopping at the bodega. That's what I was.
Oh yeah.
Business is business.
I could have deal without this last scene, this next scene where Jessica telling her mama and Famous goodbye. Take the whole family with you. Go take all y'all go and get in the cab and go down to JFK and go to California. I don't want to see none of y'all no more.
And this all came to do was run around behind Famous the whole episode.
Yep. And still didn't help him with none of his troubles.
No.
And then he was talking about, going, can I come stay with you? He was like, listen, we already got Juke staying with us. I ain't got no room for you. My mama ain't finna let you stay here.
Better get back to your mama house.
Yeah. You better make things right with your mama.
I can't be sleeping on the train.
Shit, look like you're going to have to.
He should be sleeping in the studio and writing rhymes. That's what he should have been doing.
That's why I was just going to say, you need to be in that booth sleeping there and write the rhymes.
You be sleeping in the studio, waking up and writing, going
that's what
to sleep.
Lulu told him. Lulu told him the same thing he had told Jessica last week. Like, listen, you got to apply yourself. If you think I'm going to just hand it to you, I'm just going to give you beats and let you come up with something. No, when a producer makes a beat, that beat goes to an artist right then and there for them to record, not for you to see if you can come up with something. You need to have your rhymes ready to spit to this track because I need to get this track out here as quickly as possible. I'm not going to be sitting around here, well, try this beat. No, we'll try that beat. No, I'm not going to be sitting here making all these different beats till you find one that you like. No, you need to come to me with some verses, and maybe I can make a beat around those verses, but I can't be just getting
that man need to be
my whole catalog.
That man need to be waking up. That man need to be waking up on the couch his sister was getting smashed on in that studio.
I said the same thing.
Listening to music, though, you get what I'm saying? Like he's not. It's like he's expecting it to come through osmosis or something. Most people who are into music listen to a lot of music. Like you always see them, like it's the 90s, back their headphones on and Walkman, whatever.
What you see with Jukebox? Jukebox always humming.
Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing with Famous. Famous has writer's block because he's not around Kanan as much to see what's going on with Kanan's life in order to write. His song, his number one hit song, was built off of what was going on with Kanan and what he would see Kanan do. Kanan hasn't been doing nothing because he's been gone for 3 months. So he has writer block. He's not going to do anything until he has something to write about. He can't write about his life because his life is boring. He can't write about weed right now because his life is boring. You go back to when Crown Camacho was like, we don't believe that shit coming from you. You're going to have to give us something else. And then that's when he started making The Streets Need a Body, talking about Buck 20, talking about Kanan and D. That's when he started doing it. He didn't have no material.
That's why he can't write. Right. That's exactly why he can't. When they keep telling him he need to write, he need to get in the studio. That's why he can't write. You're absolutely correct. Because it was never his story to begin with.
It wasn't his story to begin with. Yep. Xavier, no, please no. I do not want to see that lady in no show or nothing.
Oh God, please don't.
No. Don't trip. I feel the same way. Unique gonna go there and do something to that bodega. He either gonna do something to Julia or he gonna rob. I can't see how he gonna rob the place.
Or the Italian mob that we saw at the end of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got writer's block. I think here comes the next scene that we all have a problem with. It's the last scene of the episode where Marvin and Lulu and Scrappy, they riding in the car. We already knew that this was Scrappy's last ride.
Man.
The way they did him though, that was so dirty. I mean, dirty. I think it's true that we're gonna really end up just hating Rock. Like as much as beautiful as she is, and
but Marvin and Lulu didn't even approve of that.
No, but Marvin wasn't as vocal. But yeah, neither one of them really approved.
Marvin was emotional.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she was so emotional. That's what broke me down.
Lulu walked out. Yeah, like
Lulu had to turn his head.
Behind him.
Yep.
He didn't even want to see it. What killed me was that Scrap was like the dog you take out to the pasture. Like he thought it was just a regular day. He didn't even pay it. He was so excited He wasn't even thinking that they were quiet. Like that was odd. Like his guard wasn't up at all, man. And that moment when he said, "Oh no, oh no,"
all he wanted is what he thought he was about to get ready to get.
Yeah, he thought he was getting ready to get his reward.
Be respected, and he wanted to be rewarded for his loyalty.
Yep, he thought he was getting ready to get his reward.
Yep. That was crazy. Marvin wiping those tears, and then when Rock looked and she saw that door closed, all she saw was the last of Lou's hand. She knew she had just gone too far. Like she had lost so much respect from them. It's crazy, man.
All it takes is 10%
of
doubt.
Lulu was already feeling some type of way about that because of what he had to do with D-Wiz last season. So here we are going back down this path again, where we're killing someone who didn't deserve to die.
Right.
So if
but
all she's doing is continue to drive a wedge between her and her brother.
Because I don't think Scrappy was the snitch. I think his mother was the snitch, but I don't think she was snitching on them. I think Scrappy's mom is the CI.
I don't think anybody snitched. I just think like Howard played that in his favor to, you know, create some chaos in Rock's organization.
No, but the cop said that. But the cop told Howard, "Yo, I got a CI in here tripping." But remember, Scrappy was in the room with his mom. I don't think he was talking about Scrappy. I think he was talking about Scrappy's mom. I think his mom is the snitch.
He called him a one-eyed Jack, though.
Right, but what I'm saying is when the cop was talking to Howard, he said, "Both." That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he saw Scrap because he knows Scrap run with Rock, but Scrap was in there with his mom. Both of them were in the room together.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't think it was Scrap that's the CI. I think his mom is the CI, but I think it's dealing with gambling and stuff. I don't think it have anything to do with the drugs.
Yeah, I think
his mom runs a card game. His mom runs a card game every Wednesday night. So
I said that before you got on, really.
Yeah, I think she's reporting to the police what the conversations are at the game.
Yeah, and
that one don't have nothing to do with the drugs.
But that's what we mentioned though, because you know, Rock told him in episode 1, like, "Hey, we need you to chill on the dice."
Right, that's why he lied about where he was, because
Rock he lied about what he was, because it was a big ass "I told you so."
That's why he lied. Right, that's why he lied about where he was.
Right, but since he gave her, like, I understand why Rock did what she did. I just didn't like the way that she went about doing what she did. She should have got a little.
I don't understand why she did it.
Well, she had to do it because there was 10% doubt. So if you got
but she didn't really put a lot of effort into finding out either.
But that's the game, though. If you think somebody is snitching on you, whether or not they doing it or not doing it, you taking them out. You have to eliminate any issues that may bring down your empire. And unfortunately, that's just the way that it goes. I think that she could have did a little bit more research before she did it. But at that point, she feels as though she got all the information that she did, which builds the disdain for Rock, because we like, well, you could have did a little bit more. I understand it. I just like the way that she could have got more info.
I don't understand why you wouldn't even really talk to him too. Like, to me, it deserves a conversation. And that's the thing, is that, you know, you hold court, but not really. Like, why would you just say, "Scrap, what's up"? Like, you read his bio. I don't know. It was just so heartless. It was so cruel.
Lulu said, this dude damn near died for us last season. He gave up an eye. Why wouldn't we give him, like you said? I think when they took him to that warehouse, I think that's the conversation. Mm-hmm. Like, look, you need to come clean, and if we don't believe you, it's lights out. Give him that much. That's just me. I mean, I know the drug game is grimy.
The decision was already made even before they got to that warehouse.
Oh yeah,
it was definitely already made. It was definitely already made.
What made the decision is when Marvin went to the cousin's house. That was it.
But that's what I was getting ready to say. I think that Rock was depending on Marvin to just take care of it. And when Marvin came back with doubts, that forced her hand to have to deal with the situation, because at that point, neither him or Lulu felt comfortable with taking him out.
I think Rock already made her decision long before that.
I think she was initially banking on that when she put Marvin on the case, that Marvin would go ahead and handle it, and it would be over and done with. But when Marvin came back with doubts, then that left her no alternative to have to do the deed herself, because neither one of her brothers wanted to do it.
Right. I think her mind was already made up.
Yeah, her mind was already made up when she put
was
Marvin on
already
the case.
made up when Howard said it.
Yeah,
her mind was made up
when
then.
she put Marvin on the case, she was already expecting Marvin to come back and say it's done. But when Marvin came back and said it wasn't done, then I got to get work done myself. And I think we're going to see a lot more Rock getting work done. I don't think this is the first body that we're going to see with Rock this season. I think she's going to take out some more folks. Yep.
Man, I don't want to see it. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I hate to tell you though, Ms. Honey, I think it's not going to get any better.
I know, but then it just makes me think about Juke and like Kanan. Like, it makes me that much more anxious and excited to see how everything's going to evolve, even if it's not in this season. Because what if she is responsible for Juke's mom leaving? Juke's going to hate her. Yep. What if Kanan does find out about his dad? Kanan's going to hate her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to come to this crescendo at some point.
Her. Yeah, she's turning everyone against her. She's turning everyone against her, including her own family. So overall,
but that would explain that would go. I mean, when we get to why Juke left, like that would explain as close as she was to Rock, why she was like, I'm out. Like I'm out, I'm gone.
And I think that's her last little bit of hope for her family. You're right about that. I think that's her last little bit of hope for her family. That's her last little bit of.
If y'all noticed that Scrap and Kanan was building like a relationship, like they kind of had like
I think he's gonna be upset about that too.
And now for Kanan to find out, or if he finds out that Rock was behind it, for one, I think she gonna spin it like, well, you was right, Scrappy, it was suspect, because you remember Kanan said that he was suspect in season 1. That he was, so I think that's the way she's going to spin it. But when he finds out the truth about it, I think that's gonna first D-Wiz, and then now this, my mama get rid of anybody.
But remember, Scrap's last words to Kanan was, "Don't let anybody define you. Don't let anybody tell you what you got to do or what you got to be. Do it for yourself."
And I think even in that episode when he was riding him around, he was trying to tell him then about his mama.
Yep.
I mean, that's a touchy subject, though. You can't just come out the gate with that. You got to ease up on talking about somebody's mama, though. So
yeah, that's true too.
But it seemed like to me, Kanan kind of understood what he was saying, though. It was something for him to think about, and I think he spent the whole summer thinking about it too.
At what point does Rock become labeled a serial killer?
He already a serial killer.
At this point, she's more of a narcissist than anything.
I mean, she's given the word on something. I don't know. To be a serial killer, do you have to do the killing yourself? No. I think so.
Yeah. Well, right now she's being a puppet master to a lot of the killings.
And if she had done it herself with the police officer, he'd have been dead.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. He would have been out of here. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a real sad scene. I hated that for Scrap.
Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled about that part of it too, but from the drug side of it, I understand why. Yeah. I still don't agree with it, but I understand why they had to eliminate a potential threat, even though he wasn't. But even still, he was still a threat to the organization regardless, because it's just like what Rock was trying to tell him last week. Listen, stay out your mama basement, because police bringing you in is bad for business, because eventually they're going to stick you with a charge that you're not going to be able to get out of, and you're going to be forced to snitch. So, the more times you get put in front of the police, the more opportunities you have to get pushed into a corner to tell them something that I don't want them to know about my organization. So
I don't understand her trusting Warrell more than she trusts Scrap. Like, I was like, you're going to bring someone from the enemy camp in the game? I don't know. But you get rid of Scrap? Like, I don't know.
He was hyped, too. He was so excited thinking that he was getting ready to go to his new workplace.
Right. He turned this back. He was
like, I like it. I like it a lot.
And where he was ended up is his final resting place. Instead of his new workplace, he ended up going to his final resting place.
I mean, Kanan's gonna know, because it's not like they're gonna go to war on whoever killed Scrap. Everybody gonna be standing around looking stupid. So he's gonna know his mom did it. My thing is, I wonder when Kanan's gonna get back in the game, because right now, like I said, he's hanging around the convenience store and running around behind.
It's looming. It's definitely looming.
Yeah.
It's definitely
right now he's still filled with doubts about wanting to be a part of this life. He keeps saying it over and over again. I don't think I'm made for this or whatever. So at some point, Rock is going to use him again to do her dirty work, and she's going to give him that "you can be a killer too" pep talk. Just like she did with Detective Howard, she's going to give him that pep talk. And
I love how Detective Howard rattled her cage, though. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, he did rattle her cage, and that's exactly what the goal was. Whether the man was snitching or not, he put that in her ear just to create chaos in her group, and that's exactly what he did.
But even when he told her when she walked up, Kanan's gonna know. Kanan's gonna know, Rock. Kanan's gonna know. Mm-hmm. He about to know. He about to know. I was like, oh, that's got to be eating her up inside, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, overall, not a terribly bad episode. I know a few people made comments earlier in regards to they felt like this season is a little bit slower than last season. I think that we are going to get some more action pretty soon. I think that when we get these season renewals, we kind of get a little slow start because there's new characters that got to be developed and new story arcs got to be flushed out. So sometimes it's going to take a little while for things to heat up.
I wonder why they call it slow. I don't get that, but
I don't get it either.
Well, I felt like the
first they want a World War III. Like, what do they like? What's slow?
Yeah, I think like they were saying in my comments, people were saying, "Oh, we had bodies dropped on the first episode in the last season," but there's never going to be car chases. It's not that kind of show, right? What we feed off of are the capers, the fact that he went to Ebony's house and then Juke went to her mom's house. Like, to me, all of that is interesting. For me, the body language that Marvin was giving off in anger management, I thought that was really good. The conversation he had with Scrap, I found all of that entertaining. But Scrap did that whole diatribe and he was like, so you hang pictures with one eye? I was like, not the point. But I found all of that entertaining. That conversation between Crown and Lou and Fareed, I thought that was
girlfriend from season 1 is gone now.
Yeah,
like, she was a major part into the record. The recording and everything.
Yeah.
So we know that Lulu's going to get a new love interest with this Ziza girl. So we know.
So I don't understand when people say it's slow. It's almost like they want bodies to drop every single episode. If that's the case, watch Walking Dead or something. I don't know, because it's not going to happen like that. You got to have some type of
crazy that people say that, because remember in the original Power, how many slow seasons did we have? How many seasons did we have where it was just the Ghost and Angela show by itself? Their torrid affair and them meeting up in hotels.
I mean, go back to the Sopranos. Sopranos had bodies every episode, but they had a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
We second episode in, and we got a body, a major character. People like it's slow. I wish we
in
could
a super traumatic way. Yeah.
That's the formula for all of the powers, though, Xavier. It's not just with these writers. I think that's the formula for all of the shows, because we saw the same thing in Book 2. We saw the same thing in Force. They all build their stories around tension and suspense. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
And it's not easy to do either, because it can't be too dramatic. That's kind of hammy. Nobody wants that.
A soap opera.
It has to be subtle. There has to be these nuances and looks that give us all, no matter what level we're on,
small little comic relief.
Yeah.
One thing I like about Power, with the exception of Force, the one thing I liked about the original Power, and even with Book 2 and this one, when we get new characters, we don't get a whole new cast. We get bits and pieces of new characters here and there. Some of them might not show up till episode 6. Some of them might not show up until the last episode. So I like the fact that, we still have the original cast and their story and we don't just switch over to bringing in new characters and now it's all about their story. So
Right.
I do like that part of how the writers introduce the new characters. They interact with the current characters. We don't get new story arcs. We just get built up existing story arcs. Now, the only new story arc that we're going to get, and it's only because who's part of the studio now, is with this Cartier dude. But other than that, Jukebox Mom was already part of this story arc before we even got introduced to the character. Marvin's anger problems was already a part of his story before we saw him going to anger management and meeting this new therapist. So these are things that we anticipate with the new characters when they come in, is that they're going to be important to the story somewhere down the line. Xavier says, I don't think Force is mastered because it just seems like random shit just be happening. That's because with Force, it's a brand new cast. The only person that we had to really depend on in Force was Tommy. Everyone else was a new character to us. And it was a new story for them. With these other versions of Power, it's characters that we're already familiar with, stories that we're already familiar with. So I think that's why Force, I would agree with you. Force really hasn't mastered it because everything that happened in Force was kind of predictable from episode to episode. So I can see that.
But I also think with Force, I think they gave us the same formula, but I think the other problem with Force was they built it around a storyline that none of us were buying. Like none of us bought into the whole Tommy got a whole family in Chicago storyline. Like none of us were buying that story. Like the rest of it, it was like, oh, okay, Tommy goes to a new city. Okay, he's trying to get in the drug game. Okay, he got a battle with, the big family and like we saw that story. We saw that story arc with with book 2. But with Force, that whole Tommy got a whole nother family storyline. We just and even that whole storyline with him and the barber, the dude that just got out of jail, like none of us were really just buying that. And I think that was part of the problem, was that we just weren't buying the story. So yeah, they were giving us the same formula, but we just weren't buying it.
And we weren't going.
And one of the things with Force is I don't know why they decided to switch the narrative than what they were originally showing us with Force. Force was supposed to be Tommy out in California with Rodolfo and setting up an organization out there. Why they chose to change the narrative and have him set up shop in Chicago when we had saw throughout Power Tommy go to Chicago many a times to go meet Jason and the Serbians, and never once go check on his grandmother. Never once I have a brother out here. That part of the story was just they didn't utilize the formula the best way that they could with Force. So I agree with that. Tommy's show doesn't do it for me at all. And I'm kind of, so I guess we can spend the last little bit of this live talking about the announcement about what number is this one? Is it 4? Book 4? Influence? Or was that book 5?
Influence is 5.
Well, what's 4?
4 is 4.
Force is 4. Okay. So book 5 was supposed to be Influence. So we got the announcement this week that book 5 has been canceled. What are y'all thoughts on that?
Good
job.
They didn't need it. Shit.
It would.
I don't think Tate's like. If they were going to do the Tate spinoff, they should have done it immediately. First of all, they probably should have done it while Power was still on and had it as a lead-in into Power, because Tate's character was no longer useful after Ghost died. After he lost the government, like that whole storyline at the end of Power, like that, his episode on Power should have been the pilot episode for his show. And it shouldn't have ended with him losing the governorship. It should have ended with him announcing he was running for governor, and his whole storyline could have been the whole him running for governor. Now, at the end of his 10 episode run, it could have been him losing the governorship. So then when we saw him at the beginning of the book, we saw him last season with book 2, with him like sleeping on his brother's couch, trying to figure it out. It would have brought more context to it, because we would have seen what exactly he went through in that campaign, the hits he took, what he sacrificed, how he lost. There was a story there. But now, where does his story pick up with him as a professor at the college running behind Tariq? Like, where's the story? They sort of wrote themselves out of what they could have given us.
And that's probably why they canceled the
should
show.
have been him running for governor.
I actually like your idea better because I was going to go a different direction. I know y'all going to drag me forward, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there anyway.
Oh, Lord. Please don't bring up Pinky Toes.
I am. If they would have kept Carrie alive, I think there would have been hope for his season because they were building chemistry. And when they had that scene in book 2 where, she had got embarrassed in front of everyone and, he came in there and said, this is not the end of you. There was a new future. There could have been an interesting show centered around Tate and Carrie's shenanigans. But I agree with Really B. I think it would have been better to have made influence book 2. And book 2.
Exactly why scale to the same thing. I don't know if a lot of y'all remember the show Boss with Kelsey Grammer, and it was basically
it was so good.
Yeah, it was so good. It really could have been the new version of Boss, basically a black version of Boss. That really could have been it. But again, I just think they blew it. And you're right. I don't know if I would have cared about him and Carrie teaming up, but at least it would have given us a storyline. I don't know what the storyline, and that might be why they canceled it. Because where's this? What are they going to write that we're going to give a damn about at this point? His story was really him running for governor,
and that was it.
Season 2, if we bought, if the ratings were decent, then season 2 is him losing. Because of course they can't really write him being the governor of Chicago. Because what do you do with that? But him losing and then him picking up the pieces and figuring it out. And if there were going to be some cross episodes with him and Tariq, okay, fine. But there's just no story there. And
there's really no story left for him on book 2. So if that's the case, I really don't want to see him back in book 2 either. Because this professor thing, I don't
know if that whole little caper where he had Tariq go and get the book and all this. I don't know if that was supposed to be the lead into his show. Like I just never saw it for the character.
Yeah, I think it was.
The lead into his show was supposed to be him throwing over Rainey and making Rainey step down out of the senator's seat. But that still wouldn't have been as an interesting plot point as it would have been him being governor versus him being senator. You're a senator, so what?
It wasn't impactful enough. It wasn't the best lead-in. If it was supposed to be, it wasn't.
You're right. It's not impactful enough. It's not enough lead-in for him to have a whole 10 episodes of him being senator. We don't care.
No one cares.
A more interesting story with him being governor and maybe Tariq using him and his influence to get him out of some of his troubles. That I could have saw as a more interesting story.
I was here for Ghost being Lieutenant Governor Killer and Tate being the schmoozer. I was here for that. I think that would have been really good.
That would have been a really good story.
Yeah. Yeah, so I agree with
That's why they're holding on to him in book 2 because Tariq needs someone that he can call on that has power. Because we saw that with Ghost. So that basically they're trying to emulate that within Tariq. Ghost would call on Stern when he got into jams. Ghost would, threaten or use Angela's career to his advantage. So they're trying to paint that same narrative with Tariq that Tariq can force people's hands that has influence to do things for him. So that's the reason why he's lingering around in book 2, but he's not strong enough of an ally for him to get Tariq out of all of his troubles, like how Simon was, or how Angela was used.
Not at all.
Yep, it could have been all about the politics and how he influenced things, and and they made him lose. That would have been a great spin into book 2, where he was really said he was asleep on his brother's couch, depressed about losing the governor's race, and had to pick up the pieces and go work at the school. That would have been, but I guess even still, what would you have done season 2? Season 2 and subsequent seasons, I just don't think Tate's character was strong enough. His character, Lorenz Tate, the actor, of course we know would have been strong enough to carry a series. But
back to Really B's point, definitely that would have been a boss scenario, or even a Godfather of Harlem scenario, where maybe he was the alderman. Like it would have just been so much more interesting.
It really would have been. Simon was the reason why Tariq got into school, because remember he went down there to the school and told Tariq that he needed to tutor Zeke, and that was how he was going to get into the college. And I think they showed Simon at some other point helped him out of something with some money or something. I don't know.
Dang, I just remember the Zeke got killed.
But remember, Simon's husband is the one that's helping Tariq launder the damn money.
That's right.
And put the app together, right?
The course correct. Yeah.
Course correct.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the announcement of potential Power UK?
I'm here for it. If it's gonna be anything like Top Boy, I'm here for it. The UK do things differently, so I think it could be interesting.
So you like Top Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Top Boy is shit. Yeah, Top Boy is really good.
Isn't it?
It would be nice if they would cross those series over. You know, if they would kind of intertwine those series together and have them run parallel with each other. That would really be dope. Whereas the Shane's new connect now becomes Tommy or something, you know.
Oh,
that would make it a very interesting new way of doing television, where you have two different competitive shows that are running parallel with each other that share the same story. And that would be dope.
Because Power, I just think can be so stellar. It could be so stellar, and Stars is the perfect venue. It wouldn't get more stellar if it went to HBO. It would get more stellar if they put more thoughtful writing into it. But it's such a good concept. It just needs to be thoughtfully done, you know. And I was hoping when we got rid of Courtney, it would get better, but.
And to be quite honest with you, I don't want to see any more spinoffs of Power in present day. I think they are onto something with Raising Kanan. If they reach back and do preludes and prequel stories of other characters, then they could keep spinning this off left and right. I would love to see a Ghost backstory, how he came. They gave us enough substance with Ghost, just like with Kanan. You know, we never thought in a million years that we would get a whole backstory centered around Kanan's life. Just think about how much substance we would get if we got a backstory of centered around Ghost, how he overthrew Breeze, how he took over Kanan, how he met Tasha, how he met Angela. That's enough to carry us through at least 3 seasons.
Yep.
And it could, and then in Ghost's story, you could also see how he met Tasha. There's just so much substance with that. We can get a backstory of Tommy's life, of how his mama was dancing in the clubs, and you know, they've given us enough substance now where we can show his life in Chicago. So I think the rest of the spinoffs of Power needs to be spinoffs of backstories.
And they need to be thoughtfully done.
I would love to see one of Joe Proctor of how he was maybe on the wrong side of the game for a little while and then became a lawyer. And you know how his cousin Benny was in the mob. That would be a great story to spin off. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. It's just talk right now. I don't think that I don't see how they're going to be able to do a UK version of Power and compare it to present day. That's going to be very interesting unless Tommy has to flee the country for whatever reason and ends up going to the UK and starting his shenanigans over there. I can't see how they would develop that story.
It's so crazy how popular it is there. Like, they are wild for it, you know, especially those first seasons. I mean, it's just crazy popular there. So,
and I think it's because of Power that Top Boy grew legs, because Top Boy has been on since the 90s and never gotten over here to the US until here recent days. Because the season 1 in Top Boy was like back in like late 90s.
Yep.
Or whatever.
It was like 99, I think.
Like 99 or something like that. So
and that was Summer House.
I think that Summer House, yep. I think that because of the popularity of the Power universe, it's now growing legs for other shows like this to, you know, stand out on their own. Well, technically, we had it with The Wire too, and I haven't watched this new version of The Wire. I call it the new version of The Wire, but you know, it's the new HBO series that they got. We Were the Streets or something, and it's got a lot of the
We Are the
Wire. We Are the Streets. I haven't watched it yet either. If anybody's watched it, drop something in the comments about it. Oh, that is right, Xavier. Now that would be dope. That is right, because remember Well, Dre was too. You know, they were trying to get over there to the overseas to run the drugs over there. Well, Dre was with the Jimenez was trying to get over there to the overseas to the Bassett's clubs over there in the other country. It would be dope if they want to bring Ghost's character back, which I'm not going to beat that horse into the ground, but it would be dope if they would say that Ghost fled to the UK and started life over there anew or whatever. That would be dope. And I would love to see a Tommy and Ghost backstory. Just kind of centered around from the point where they took over the drug organization and the events that led up to the beginning of Power. I would love to see that too, the younger version of them. All right, guys. Well, I guess that wraps this up for this week. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, you gotta get Really B and Miss Honey in here.
Yeah, we gotta get Really B and Jack and Miss Honey here because the ladies need to show us their lips for the day, and we got to show y'all our kicks and scents for the day.
Where Jack at? Oh, there you go.
There you go. All right. Really B been off camera the whole time, so I don't know if she's coming in today. Maybe she'll tell us what her lipstick is for today. Where you at, Miss Honey? Miss Honey will be trying to find her lipstick.
I just had it in my hand. I don't know what I did with it. I'm super out of sorts. It really be. Oh, here it is.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so this is Juvia's Place, and I blame Really B for, influencing me. And the color is called Oh Darn, but with the M-N. My mom was in here. That's why I can't say the word, but, I really love this color. It's a beautiful red color, so I'm interested to see if Really got some of those colors from the last sale.
Story too, Xavier, the Jimenez.
I don't think I have that one. I gotta look that one up, Miss Honey. I don't think I have that one.
It's in the Berries series. It's so good.
I have a couple of the berries, but
oh my gosh, they're so good, especially if you wear a mask. They're just, they're the perfect cream matte color. You'll really like it.
Okay. I have on Juvia's Place as well. I have one Afrique.
What? Wow, I love Afrique.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. Afrique.
Like instead of African or it's like Afrique.
Oh, okay.
In honor of my man Unique.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
In honor of my man Unique.
Same here.
when I see them cameras go off and those avatars come up, I know y'all in the closet.
I'm not even there. Look.
And honor of my man Unique.
Come on.
We gonna do it different.
Oh, hey, I thought he was on the whole team.
Nope. I pulled the Kanan. I got the DNA Air Maxes on with the DNA Hirachis.
Those are kind of pretty. I love that color.
Yeah.
And also the center of the day.
Wow, what is that? That looks like a hieroglyphics.
This is called Initio. This is Ooh for Greatness.
Yeah, y'all playing this shit.
No, we did. I swear to God, we did.
We didn't.
Well, it ain't no shit. It's called bench press 200 pounds for men. That's where I came from, the gym.
This is musk, lavender, nutmeg, and oud. It's definitely spicy and woody.
Very spicy.
It lasts for about 12 to all day long.
More like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like this is a one spray knock you out type scent right here.
Well, Juggy, you're your own kind of musky though, honey. You're the.
I ain't say I stink.
Well,
but there y'all go since the guys want to do it. Yeah.
There we go. See,
there you go. Now you're part of the home team.
Had it right there.
Yeah, I just turn around. I just retch around this right now.
Jack thinks that it's more woody. I think it's more spicy. But you know what? Fragrances smell different on everyone. So for me, it's more of the spice than it is the wood. Now I do smell the hints of wood in here, but it's a good combination of both. Really, it's a really good combination of both. It's spicy and woody.
And the last all day.
Last all day. Worth every penny. It's a pretty high price point. It's about $385. But it's a very nice fragrance. Initio, all their fragrances are really good, but they're really on the high end.
Hey, see, she got Air Max on. Yeah, you gotta pull out the Air Max every now and then.
I have not been able to find my size in anything I like, and I saw a chick with the Pharrell package. Evidently, Pharrell did a collaboration. Oh my gosh, they were so cute.
NMDs.
Yeah, they were black, but they had like little colors on it, some texture, a lot of color in the back, at the heel part. It was really nice.
Okay.
But every time I go to get a pair, it's like, oh, they don't have my size. So I'm a size 9. I think it's like universal or something, and everybody wears those sizes. I don't know.
You gotta hit GOAT.
Yeah, or StockX. GOAT would probably be a better option because you'll probably get it a lot faster.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all coming to hang out with us as usual. Please like, comment, share the video. We just hit another milestone this week. We're at where are we at now, Jack? Oh, Jack's gone. I think we're at 1.4 on our subscriber count.
Yeah, we have 1,400 subscribers.
Yep, we're at 1,400 on our subscriber count. So we're excited about that. We're pushing our way to 2K. So we appreciate you guys. We're still developing and coming up with some ideas for some new content. So you're going to see a lot more of us in the TSF Entertainment Group. We're probably going to get a segment on here for these ladies to get on here and talk about some things because they do great jobs on their own channels and their own brands. So we want to give them something to do over here as well. Juggernaut, we got to get Juggernaut over here with these sneakers. Maybe me and him going to start doing these dual sneaker reviews. Me and Jack, we keep talking about these fragrances. We have a lot of the same. So we need to get over here and talk to y'all about these fragrances.
I did really enjoy you guys' drunken cigar rant about the game and all that stuff, especially from JOJ. You were so litty.
Music is my passion. I love music.
Yeah, I loved it. I love the glasses, the beautiful drinks in the beautiful glasses. I love that. And the way JOJ kept looking at his cigar every time he pulled it, he looked at it like it was his friend. Like, I love you.
We got to get DJ Fresh Your Highness on here again, but y'all gonna have to come and hang out with us on Twitch because last time we tried to stream live music to YouTube.
They shut our block down because it was the.
So we'll probably do another block party over on Twitch here soon. So we'll probably get some stuff out here before the summer's over with, and we're just look forward to more content things from us. Me and Really B need to get together and get our true crime back going. And get Miss Honey over here with us to talk about some of these true crime cases. So we got a lot of work to do. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and we will see y'all this week.
Yep.
See you guys.
Everybody have a good week.
Out.
Too.